And we are live. The broadcast is live, the screen is telling me. Let me, I can once again tweet to that effect.
I, too, have twerted. I got a live twerk this!
3 trophies for the twart.
Exactly. And last time, Ella made a sub chat called Curator News because this is technically not podcast news.
All right, well, we are going to continue playing Secret of Monkey Island because that's
we're going to find a secret today, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Should I turn my volume up or down or?
It sounds okay to me, but people in the chat let me know if it's wrong.
Yeah. It sounds fine to you, but it's wrong!
Look, I don't know things, so some things that sound fine to me are actually quite bad.
Yeah, to be a good audio engineer, you got to pay me more. I am making the exact amount to be a passable audio engineer.
Oh, payment. That sounds like a fun thing. Oh, you okay?
No, I died. I'm concussed. You should take me to the hospital. No, I didn't feel it at all and didn't realize I bumped my head on the sound shield until you asked if I was okay.
Well, you are wearing multiple layers of headgear, so you are.
I'm wearing one layer unless you're counting my hair.
I'm
counting.
Yeah, I'm counting the headphones.
I just looked at myself in the I forgot I was wearing headphones too. Hello, everyone. My name is Charlie Marlowe. They, them. Dave just guessed it on my podcast. I have a podcast called. I actually have to open the YouTube link because I don't know how to type in StreamYard.
I can type information.
All right. Well, I'm there, but you may do it this time. You may link. I was just going to link to.
Yes, let me link to the newest Mystery Shack Lookback, the one that I am on.
There's just the website proper.
That's true.
It's episode 40. Yeah, so
here on one of the many fine Pipe Dream family of podcasts.
It's the only good Pipe Dream podcast.
That's
Tony's had it too good for too long. We're coming for his throne.
The views reflected in this stream do not necessarily reflect the views of the host of this stream, but
no, I love all of the Pipe Dream podcasts. I was just being cocky as a joke. So should I ask you about Loom?
Oh, you mean the latest game from Brian Moriarty? I don't have that spiel memorized, but
they say the latest from LucasArts Brian Moriarty. Brian Moriarty worked at Infocom until Loom. He's not LucasArts Brian Moriarty, but they legally can't say Infocom's Brian Moriarty.
Infocom defect or Infocom defector Brian Moriarty.
Infocom mutineer. At some point, we should mix it up and stream the Infocom pirate adventure game.
I want to say it was in. I think it was in Space Quest 4. There was a.
Sure was. I don't know.
There was a bit. There was a bit in I think Space Quest 4 where you're like in a mall and you're looking through a bin of other computer games. And it's mostly all some self parodies of Sierra games, but a lot of friendly jabs at the competition.
And the competition would never make friendly jabs at them.
Of course not. Of course not. And I don't remember all the details, but I remember there was a parody of Loom, and I believe it was like from creator Maury Brianardi, which. You know, I guess basic level spoonerism counts as parody.
I love it. It's a spooner. Spoonerisms shouldn't make me laugh. Objectively, they're not that funny, but every time.
On paper, they don't work, but in execution.
Versus on paper, puns are the funniest jokes ever written, and in execution, for some reason, people think it's you're supposed to groan.
Yeah, well, speaking of sequences that include friendly parodies of the competition.
Yeah, are we doing it again? We just did it right before we.
Let's do it one more time.
Have you heard the latest news? I've heard the latest news, and that's all you can do. One more.
Or I must have saved after doing it, so I can't do it anymore.
Darn.
Oh well.
You'll just have to trust on us on this, or look for an upcoming D-list.
Ooh. I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to play Push the Rock.
Push the rock! Okay, so you're purposely going for that ending? Or is that a complete accident?
I thought it might be fun to sink my own ship because those mutineers know what they did.
I like when I'm streaming it not sinking the ship simply because it is what happens when you push the rock when it's at its default state, so most people do it accidentally. So I want to show them the ending they likely won't encounter on their first playthrough.
I guess that's true. It is the last. Well, we can go
back. That's where our save point was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so also you can now have if you never delete that, you have a place to record both endings if you need it.
That's true. It's always nice to have in an adventure game like this. It's nice to have, just for replayability, as many save spots as you can, just so you can revisit your favorite sequences.
So
do I look
like I've intentionally put makeup on, or do I look like I've drowned?
Let's get your face nice and big on the screen. Now that looks like a fine makeup job, my friend.
I was late to the party when I played this game in 2013, but now I'm a decade early to the queer pirate party.
You are on top of that particular party, and
I see all these people with pride flags and pirate flags in their Twitter names in the past month, and I'm like, oh, you sweet summer children.
There are a couple, yeah.
You've merely adopted the dark.
There are
you streaming this to both? Sorry. Did you walk? Did we already make you walk to the sun? I definitely did. Can you do it again?
I'm pretty sure we did that last time, but we can always.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, that's good.
Oh, sure. Walk to the sun.
There are a couple of slightly frustrating, like, pixel hunt aspects once you get to Monkey Island, just in terms of just trying to find the exact spot you're supposed to walk to do anything in particular. But other than it, a non-binary person whose name is literally pirate.
Okay, my name is Charmar, which I'm not interested in changing.
But I think Charlie, I think you need to be friends with pirates if you ever meet them.
Private property. Worshipping is permitted, but please do not enter the monkey head. GP LeChuck?
I think we talked last time about fans who overthought what GP stood for.
Yeah, it's Ghost Pirate.
Hello, Herman. That monkey had some piece of work, eh? Nasty case of yellow waxy buildup, though.
I love from the anniversary stream the trivia that originally this was called a Q-tip, and Q-tip doesn't mind free advertising, but you're not supposed to put them in your ears, like, at all. Some people are like, yeah, you're not supposed to put them near the eardrum. No, it says on the package, don't put it near your ears.
Even though that's the only thing anyone uses them for.
I brought some to do my makeup because makeup application is their intended purpose. Didn't wind up using one because no one uses them for anything else. I saw a TikTok of the inventor of the Q-tip, and it was like, I just invented this. Well, it has a number of uses. It's a cotton swab on a stick, so you get stability with it. And then the person's like, I'm gonna shove that in my ear. And they were like, well, I would really prefer you not doing that. And he says, no one is going to use those for anything else. And he's like, that's not why I invented them. And he's like, it's what they're for, I promise. Sorry, tangent.
Yes, Q-tips are one of the great mysteries of life.
How did you get stranded here?
Well, I sailed here with a friend of mine 20 years ago. We hoped to discover the secret of Monkey Island's trademark.
Did we ever learn that guy's name?
But my friend met with a horrifying and tragic accident.
I think in my head, for a long time, I thought the friend was Elaine's grandfather, but I think I was getting that mixed up with the various treasure hunting pirates from Monkey Island 2.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be the head of the navigator, but then it turns out that was Captain Dread's crew, unless the three of them were on a crew. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it turns out the friend is the skeleton who's floating on who's hanging on the island, right?
Got it. That's right. So it's not the head of the navigator because the hanging. So we don't learn his name, I don't think.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, but
okay.
We do
so
know
we
for
can
a fact,
come up with
that's true. But we do know for a fact that at that time Herman Toothrot's name was Herman Toothrot. It was not Marley.
All right, I figured it out. This is his he was the first mate to Captain Sherman Cavity.
There we go. I see no reason not to treat that as canon.
Sherman Cavity and Herman Toothrot.
A dentist's best friends.
You're the only one on the island?
I'm the only civilized person on the island. There's a native tribe of hunter-gatherers. Well, head hunter-gatherers, actually. But I don't talk to them. They are cannibals, but they're not dangerous. Unless you lend them something.
I love this. I mean, it's great 1990 commentary because, like, he's like, I'm the only civilized person on the island, and he's clearly out of his mind and walking around without pants on. Whereas the natives do a lot of research before they do anything.
It's. I'm sure there's a lot to unpack in terms of just the usage of natives as a trope in this game, and how,
you know, whether aspects of them, their outfits, their villages are offensive or not. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot of Caribbean indigenous people.
It's definitely meant more to be like a parody of the tropes of pirate stories than a parody of any actual groups of people. But I genuinely love just all the petty squabbling between the various factions who live on Monkey Island.
And I also love that they are objectively more civilized than Herman or the Ghost Pirates.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if nothing else, the well-meaning commentary behind it is the indigenous people who were here the whole time are the only people who actually know what they're doing here.
Yeah, and this is a game from 1990 written by 3 straight white cis guys, but every single aspect of it is well-meaning and in good faith, if not necessarily aged well. And that is unheard of for art from 1990 made by straight white cis people.
Yeah, it's kind of wild how little of the game has aged poorly humor-wise.
It's an incredibly feminist game.
It's like I know there's also a lot to unpack with the game's use of voodoo, and there's problematic elements there, but it's
appropriating Haitian religion because Tim Powers did so.
yes, but and again, like, I'm not saying it makes it okay that it's more spoofing I'm not saying it inherently makes it okay that the target of the parody is tropes in these kinds of narratives, because maybe it doesn't examine those tropes as well as it should, but it is also, again, compared to any other joke on a similar topic made at the time.
Every single person is limited by their worldview while producing art, and before the internet was as widespread, people's worldviews were more limited.
Yes.
But so that we're not insulting anything or canceling anything. What we are saying is the batting average of politically correct in 1990 is pretty low.
Wouldn't it be
so
wild?
This game's a good.
Wouldn't it be wild if we were spending like 3 whole streams playing this game and talking about how much we love it just to say we're canceling it?
Wouldn't it be so funny if we forgot what the next line of dialogue was and it was the most politically incorrect one in the game, and we get off of this tangent, click it, and we go, oh, oops.
Look, I've played this game many times, and I probably still haven't encountered every single joke in there, because with all the dialogue trees, there are probably some options I've just never chosen.
The reason I have chosen this as my favorite thing is I will never experience all of it. There are 5 games. 6 soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never hear every joke. I never will. Yeah. And I love that.
And so if you find the joke that has aged terribly, that's not the joke we're talking about when we talk about the jokes that have aged well.
Although that is our new contest. If you
can you find the most
problematic the most problematic Monkey Island joke, tweet it at us. We'll be in touch with the winner.
You will win a half-hearted retweet. Let's find out.
Actually, I can't even use half my heart. My heart is buried on a chest on the Illacluses.
Well, that's swell, Tom, but your heart is standing in the middle of Afghanistan.
My heart's in Gravity Falls.
Yes, we should mention, for those of you who are just joining us, I was on the most recent episode of Charlie's podcast, Mystery Shack Lookback.
It's a no spoiler. It's a no spoiler time.
A nostalgic time capsule and no spoilers book club.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad you know the thing I've said 41 times better than I.
Oh, and speaking of people who have said such a thing, Ella is here as well. Hello.
Hello, hello, Ella.
Hello, hello. Who's cracked for a stick in the pudding?
Hello, hello, hello. And now's it's time to say goodbye.
We were just talking about how I was one of the guests on the most recent episode of a little podcast that the two of you host.
That's true. That is accurate.
It's a very good podcast. It's Gravity Falls aired slowly. There are 40 episodes that aired over the course of 4 years.
Yeah, and what a 4 years.
So
kind of a very unique experience that people watching it on Disney Plus don't really get.
Yeah,
so we're
every episode, a lot of episodes end with cliffhangers, and there's a lot of bits where we get a little bit of the puzzle and then nothing else.
Yeah.
So the way we experienced that was for 4 years. We talked to each other, asking each other repeatedly, "Oh, am I allowed to swear on your stream?"
Go for it.
What the fuck is going on? And now people who binge watch it on the DVD box set or Disney Plus are missing an aspect of the experience that I would not say is necessary. I'm not an elitist,
but
it's an option.
It's unlike anything that I noticed before, and it's not like anything that'll happen again.
And I am not saying everyone needs to experience Gravity Falls that way. Some people might have more fun binge watching it. But I am upset that the option to watch it the way I did disappeared. So we are trying to recreate that option.
You're trying to kind of make an auditory museum of what that was like, of what the original fandom was like.
How's the makeup look, by the way, Ella?
Let me do a little zoom in on your frame. Yeah, nice.
You wanna pull me up?
Good.
Here, I can make the faces bigger.
Good. Yeah. I did my circle on a screen look today.
Yeah, and you know what? You pull it off though.
Thanks. I know. I wear it well.
It is a classic look that never goes out of style.
There's also, you can't really see it in this quality. There's a little bit of teal and glitter in my beard.
Ooh. Glitter
It
beard.
is. After all, the holiday today is National Shiny Beard Day.
I know. Well, the interesting
it?
thing is I've only streamed this with you on holidays. I am the weed smoking girlfriend from the famous Tumblr post.
Mhm.
And we've celebrated that twice.
That post kind of contributed to like 25% of our listener base.
And my identity.
Get down to it. Yeah.
Have you seen that video, Dave?
I don't think I have.
Okay, video essayist Strange Aeons did a video where she did a tier ranking of terrible Tumblr posts. And she is not a trained actress, and she is my friend, so she hired me to read the more dramatic posts. Weed smoking girlfriends.
And then they were all like, "Why don't you sound emotionless and like not a trained actor?"
Yeah, because Tia's like, so I was on a bus and a bunch of people jumped out with the same t-shirts. Like she always reads it in disbelief, and I read it like, this is something I experienced. Let me
Something I'm
portray that.
experiencing right now.
But so Weed Smoking Girlfriends is 10 minutes long. It is a Shakespearean level tragedy. It's it's a person who could have been an award-winning screenwriter or an award-winning playwright who chose to take that writing skill to fuck with people on tumblr.com. I don't understand why or how, but Tia gave me $100 to read it, and many have called it my best acting performance ever.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching that afterwards, and we will link to that in the description.
Yeah. And between that and the Hall of Conspiracies, it is now somehow been my career to read Tumblr posts into a microphone.
Yeah. I kind of was always heading in that direction.
Well, I used to do readings of Tumblr shit posts and was like, oh, this is the most fun I've ever had. Too bad there's no
I can't do this for work, for money.
There's no money in this.
Yeah.
Look, everyone knows that all the best internet content is just reenacting other internet content from other websites.
Well, sure, but also people have made that joke to me a lot without the irony back in the day. And I had to specify that if I got cast as Hamlet, I wouldn't be writing what Hamlet says. I have advertised myself primarily as an actor. Reading things that other people wrote is a large portion of the job.
Yeah.
It's most of it, in fact.
I would go as far as to say in
100%.
most cases, 100% of it.
I would say even most things that are written by the lead actor tend to have other actors who did not write the thing.
You're right.
And directors that encourage improv
tend
to still use 90% takes that were lines in the script.
Speaking of reacting to other media, we are continuing to play through the original.
Sorry for all the tangents.
It is what we do here.
You're used to it by now.
I know. Well, that's true. We wanted to just talk about our experience with Weird Al for a little bit first on today's podcast.
Yes,
just a baseline level.
For those who haven't listened to the new Mystery Shack Lookback yet, not only am I on it, but Tony is also on it, and it is about the episode of Gravity Falls that Weird Al is on. So,
and for those who are unfamiliar with Ella and I, we are as big of Weird Al fans as Dave and Tony, and there are 4 of us.
Needless to say, we had a lot of tangents to go on with varying degrees of relevance to Disney television animation, but mostly just related to Al's career in general.
I asked Ella, so just out of curiosity, you're the editor, you get to pick, but which parts are you editing out? And she goes,
No.
And I said, hey, Ella, which parts are you editing out? And she said,
You say that like it was a bad thing.
I believe I pitched during the record that the tangents could have been like a Patreon bonus episode.
I was all for that. Ella was like,
No.
It's doesn't mean anything to me, Winslow.
Exactly. And when my mom was like, "Oh, you should maybe give people like a time code to skip to if they want," and I'm like,
and then Ella was
they
like,
skip church.
Yeah, it's like you
This is
should tell
required
people.
listening for Gravity Falls
That's
fans.
like saying you should tell people the time the reception's starting so they can skip your wedding if they want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, part of recreating the experience of the Gravity Falls fandom at the time was people who were Weird Al nerds explaining to all the younger people in the fandom who hadn't found Weird Al yet why it was important that
like,
Weird Al
I'm
was gonna
sorry
be on
that
the show.
Alex Hirsch grew up in the late 80s and early 90s and loved The Simpsons. Like, it just,
Look.
that was his experience too. This is important.
Dave and Tony and I are millennial. Is Tony count as a millennial?
I
It
think so,
doesn't
yeah.
matter. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
And then Ella
labels.
is on the cusp,
I'm
but
the cusp.
does not have anything in common with Gen Z. She sees
That's
millennial
correct.
stuff and is like, "Oh, that makes sense to me." It sees Gen Z stuff and is like,
I'm old.
okay.
I used to be with it, and they changed what it was. And it'll happen to you.
Oh, you give Tony an inch to talk about Weird Al and he'll take a parsec. We gave him a parsec and he was like, all right, I'm just going to take an inch here. And we're like, don't you dare.
He was like, I don't want to take like a whole parsec. I was like, you know what? He's like, I don't know. I'll do like, I was just going to do like at maximum 12 parsecs. And we were like, no. You do 14.
You were
asked,
like, we did not have you on the Weird Al episode to not talk at like about
exactly. It was
that's exactly it. And
It was
when
basically
he
a
was
guest
tweeting about the biopic, I replied, "It's weird they didn't get you to to write the screenplay." And he responded, when they told me that my 9-hour draft should be cut down, I told them to suck it.
Yeah. He was right to do it.
But that means in 20 years, Tony's script will be used as the prestige HBO.
I was about to
series
say,
of
I was like,
Housewives.
wait, that's the length of The People versus O.J. Simpson. That could still work. Oh my
Good.
God, could you imagine a 10-episode miniseries about the life of Weird Al?
I dream about it.
Written by Tony and Dave.
I would sign on for that.
I kind of want, like, I know this one's gonna be like played for a joke, like this upcoming thing. I would like a genuine, like,
I would like one that the parts of his life that in retrospect are funny are shot like a comedy. So when a door-to-door accordion salesman comes to, I want him to look and sound like Stan Monkey Island, and I want the dad to have the goofiest accordion, huh? Yankovic? You get it?
Yeah.
I think, because I'm sure the tone of this one is going to be much closer to the original Funny or Die short, but I think the best way to do like a real Weird Al biopic would be like Futile and Stupid Gesture, the David Wayne movie about National Lampoon.
Yes. Oh my God, that movie is so good.
Where it is a genuine biopic, but it's done very comedically.
Yeah.
And the only explanation I could possibly have for Joel McHale's performance was possession. That was Joel McHale's body. That was not Joel McHale's soul.
Yeah.
That was Chevy Chase.
I mean,
he is
they mostly in that did not cast people who looked that much like the people they were playing, but they knew nobody had spent more time with Chevy and would be easier to work with than Joel.
Yeah, because Chevy's appeal was that he was attractive. And that was Joel's appeal before he learned how to act.
And
he knows how to act now. It's just compare the final season of Community with the first season.
The benefit of a Joel McHale is that he's easy to work with.
He's easy to work with, but also Community would have like 16-hour shooting days. So he would hear how Chevy Chase delivers lines or the type of riffs he makes for 16 hours every day.
Bless his soul.
I remember on one of the Community DVD commentaries, I forget which episode, but on one of the commentaries, Donald Glover mentions when they do that Fletch remake, they should just have Joel do it.
The craziest thing about when Donald Glover is on the commentaries is he's the only one who likes Chevy's jokes. Donald Glover is like yes-anding everything Chevy says, and then Chevy is like, "Oh, you're trying to steal laughs for my joke," and he's like, "No, it's didn't you go to Second
Compliment.
City?"
Yeah.
Because at one point, they're talking about the intro, and they're like that paper fortune teller is actually CG, and Chevy, not liking that he's not the focus of the conversation, when it cuts to Yvette Nicole Brown, he goes, "You know what? So is she," and
Wow.
just to make a quick joke, just to bring the focus back to him. And Donald Glover's like, "I want to play in this space," and it's like, you know what? And not a lot of people can tell, and I think that comes down to the amazing voiceover and mocap performance of Jim Rash.
He's good riffing, and then
And then
Chase is
Chevy's just like,
"How dare you play in this space?"
It's my space.
Yeah. You forget about MySpace?
You
I hope
know,
you forget about your
Did it
MySpace.
slip completely from your mind?
All right, we can keep playing the video game. I'm sorry.
I have video
Oh.
game.
I miss video games.
Remember video
I miss
games?
my mom.
I miss orange juice.
Did you lend something to the cannibals?
I lent my banana picker to them, and they never gave it back. As collateral, they gave me this enormous cotton swab. It opens the big monkey head idol they worship. Not like I ever need to go into the monkey head.
So there you go. You hear cotton swab because they
That's
couldn't
the
use the
second
brand name.
largest cotton swab I've ever seen.
It's a matter of pride, you know.
It's interesting to me that a lot of boomers writing in the 90s were like, you could just steal jokes from Mel Brooks. It's called a reference. And now in the days of YouTube, we're like, that is not what that's called.
Yeah.
It starts with a P, actually.
I
Yeah.
accept cribbing jokes in a game more than I accept it in a movie, and I'm not
In the
sure
different
why.
medium, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have heard Get Smart's "That's the second biggest X I've ever seen" referenced in 300 different places, and not all of them are video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite is in Super Mario Brothers Super Show, where they're about to give an injection to Godzilla Koopa to make him smaller, and Toad says, "That's the biggest hypodermic syringe I've ever seen." And
Well-
it's like, excuse me, Toad?
Well, I mean, it's not like Deke Entertainment would know anything about taking anything from Get Smart. It's not like Inspector Gadget was one extended Get Smart reference after another.
Get Smart was a Pink Panther reference starring Don Adams to try to throw them off the trail of who they were plagiarizing.
Well, it's like obviously so much of this very game borrows from a lot of other sources, and
Definitely. I point to Mel Brooks, Monty Python.
and humor-wise, a lot of Brooks and Python. Obviously, tone-wise, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and On Stranger Tides, and that led to the sort of confusion when the first Pirates was coming out, and a lot of Monkey Island fans were like, it should have been a Monkey Island movie. I'm like, I was like, it's not that I don't want a Monkey Island movie, but the things you're saying they stole from Monkey Island are largely things Monkey Island stole from Pirates in the first place.
The confusion, I think, comes from the fact, and I talked about this last time, Curse of the Black Pearl is 100% plagiarized from On Stranger Tides, and Tim Powers knows it. So
Yes.
if you believe Rossio and Elliot's narrative that they didn't hear about the book until they were working at World's End, then there's a lot of coincidences. But if you believe Tim Powers' narrative that they based the fourth movie off of his book because they felt bad for ripping him off for 3 movies straight and they wanted to give him money, then Monkey Island is no longer has that much parallel thinking.
Yeah, again, talking so much about how we love this game, and even as it wears its inspirations on its sleeve, it does remix them creatively. So
Yes. All right. Sorry for our tangents are now our brand, I guess.
yes.
They've always been.
I'm Guybrush. I'm here to rescue someone.
Well, here I am. Glad you came to rescue me. Oh, you might have been a bit earlier.
Ella, can you do Super Show Toad real quick?
Okay. What?
Perfect.
To find on that overdue library book should be pretty big by now.
I sailed here in pursuit of the governor of Melee Island, who's been kidnapped by a ghost.
Oh, fine. Don't rescue me. I like it here. The rain on my head, the wind at my back,
Hi,
the
Miles.
bugs on my plate.
Well, perhaps I could take you back too. But I've got to rescue the governor first. I think she's on that ghost ship underground.
Oh, okay. I told you about them borrowing my banana picker and never returning it, right?
That was the cannibals, not the ghost pirates. Keep track of your own.
Your
Well,
wild stories.
They've just been standing here staring at each other for a long time while we've been talking about other
Quit
things. So
staring at me while I bathe.
Why don't you just give me the key to the monkey head?
No, I needed to get back my banana picker.
What happened to your pants?
What pants?
That's true. That's Guybrush. That's Guybrush assuming. Herman never promised. I also love the "oh sure, don't rescue me." Like, what if Ben Gunn from Treasure Island was really petty?
I'm a rather brilliant surgeon. I could help you out with that hump.
What hump? Excuse me, I've got pressing business to attend to.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, okay, he could pull. The artist carved his name on it. Made by Red Skull. Hey, Hugo Weaving was here, Ella.
Oh, yes!
Favorite.
That's where I went after the stone made me poof away.
Your Smith is so good.
Thank you.
Every time I try to do Smith, I'm like, it's not as good. Same as first time Dave streamed this, I was not invited to join, but I was watching, and he tried to read for Guybrush, and it's like, why am I doing that while Charlie is here?
You were
Exactly.
doing, it was very Roger Rabbit behind the wall while Dave was doing Cave in a Haircut.
I make the Roger Rabbit behind the wall joke constantly because
It's very
that's what,
fitting. It's a good
that's what
analogy.
ADHD is. That is what my
Mhm.
impulses are.
Yeah.
I also never I don't think I ever had Herman here while I tried pulling that. So I like the detail that if you open the gate, he just walks away so he can't help you get in.
There was nothing that has ever relieved me more than seeing programmed and directed, programmed and written by Ron Gilbert and Dave Grossman. I was like,
Oh,
on
thank
the
God.
Return to Monkey Island trailer.
Yeah.
Yes, that was
Ron
very exciting.
Gilbert is not my favorite adventure game writer. He might be my favorite puzzle maker. He's not my favorite writer. Dave,
Yeah.
however, not you, other Dave, is the Grosser Dave. Hello,
Yeah.
Grossman.
Oh, I love to watch and occasionally click on a Telltale game.
When do you remember the moment from Behind the Bad where Dave Grossman walks by Strong Bad stuck in the filing cabinet and he goes, "Hello, Grossman."
Yep.
So I tweeted that at Dave once, Grossman, not Gansel, and said, "How tall are you? I'm trying to calculate Strong Bad's height." And he says, "I have no idea how tall I am, so I asked Strong Bad, and he told me I must be some kind of freakish giant because he's a 6 foot something model."
Perfect. He knows how to write for Strong Bad. Of course.
Well, he had to. He had to
course.
for
Yeah,
SBCG
you're
4AP. Well, that's the thing. Well, no, the thing,
is yeah.
Yeah, but Dave Grossman's the only person in this world who has written for Monkey Island, Back to the Future, and Homestar Runner.
Yeah.
What a pedigree.
Well, that's
Really?
not true because there are people who wrote Escape and Tales who worked at Telltale, but
Mhm.
He's one of the only.
he invented the humor of Monkey Island and made my other favorite point and clicks. Please return our key to the monkey head. The Cannibals. He also wrote World of Max, the ending theme from. Well, Jared Emerson did the music.
I love that song. You're coming. The ship already sank. What are you looking at, Herman? Or no? Oh no, never mind. We restored the game, so it didn't sink. My brain is gone.
Mine too. I woke up at 12, so I've made the decision because I have to pick someone up at the airport real early on Friday
Mhm.
to pull an all-nighter tonight. So I just had a lot of caffeine, and you are hearing the beginnings of that process. I apologize.
Yeah.
fun.
You know, I've been working and plowing so long. Even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is gone.
I'm a man of the land.
I'm into discipline. When we interviewed Molly Lewis, for some reason at the end, right when Molly said
Well,
she
that's
had
not.
to
No,
go-
that wasn't even the first time. You mentioned I want a new duck, and then we just
Oh,
started
that's
back
true.
and forth quoting
But
that.
my favorite was when Molly was about to go, Ella said, "Now you may find it inconceivable, or at the very least a bit unlikely, that the relative position of the planets and the stars can have a special significance or meaning that exclusively applies to only you." And then I cut her off and said, "Then let me give you my assurance that the forecasts and predictions are all based on solid scientific documented evidence." And then Molly cut me off and said, "You would have to be some kind of moron not to realize that every single one is absolutely true." And then immediately hung up the second she said true.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah, it's so hard to walk up there.
When I was in college and did campus radio, I played My Hope over the campus radio station.
Yes.
Have you heard the 2019 rewrite of My Hope about MySpace's server error?
Yes, I heard it once. I do not remember the full lyrics, but I did hear it once.
Molly, I only heard about it from Molly. I didn't know it existed and have been listening to it nonstop.
You're like, I'm gonna listen to this a normal amount.
That's what I told her. I was like, now that
Yeah.
I know that My Hope has a sequel song, I will listen to it a normal, healthy amount. I'm not going to tell you a number. Just trust me on this.
Don't worry about it.
Well, the
think
problem is I have the banter from her live album memorized, which is to say I have her whole life story memorized, which is an uncomfortable situation.
And also
we
when
both
you're singing
acknowledge that.
along, so you to It All Makes Sense at the end, you go, oops.
Yes, at the exact moment that she drops her.
It's a lyric. It's a lyric now.
That was me for a long time. I collected recordings of different like Jonathan Colton and Paul and Storm concerts. So
Oh, yeah.
I would
Wait, I'm
I
sorry.
would
There
listen-
are different Jonathan Colton concerts. I feel like they're the
There-
same.
There are different because the lyrics to Opening Band are different every concert.
Oh, okay.
and the banter.
As of today, I'm glad to say something's been thrown and we're one.
Yeah.
So I'd have I just have different pieces of banter memorized, and then I would like think of them as like deep cut inside jokes for these fandoms, and then I eventually had to remember these are things that these people just said once offhandedly. They don't
Yeah.
listen to their own
So
concerts.
how many that's my X tribute band or that's my blank tribute band jokes do you have just at the ready?
Too many of them. I did. I went to Woodstock Halloween. I think it was 2010.
Oh, that was one of my first exposures to Strong Bad.
No, well, not 2010.
Well, not that one, but I recognize that.
Well, Woodstock used to be a much bigger thing than it is now. So
Yeah.
at the time that Strong Bad was in it and the time that Dave is talking about, most anecdotes of internet music comes from there.
I see.
So yeah, the 2010 Woodstock in Boston, Halloween themed. I went because that was when they did the Woodstock tour where Will Wheaton wasn't available. So each stop would have a different guest Will Wheaton. And in Boston, these special guest Will Wheatons were Bill Corbett and Kevin Murphy from
That's
Mystery
awesome.
Science Theater and Riff Tracks. So I went
Because Paul and Storm did the music for the Return or whatever it's
Yes,
called. No, the
yes,
Return is
indeed.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, that's the third season. Yeah,
I would love it if Paul and Storm did the music for Twin Peaks: The Return.
they should.
But
Twin Peaks:
but-
The Return of Monkey Island.
Go
so-
Twin Peaks, go! Yeah.
So because Bill and Kevin were the hosts that time, and it was Halloween, they were encouraging even more cosplay than usual because it was on Halloween. So I went as Zombie Wiseau, where
Oh,
Fantastic.
I had a Tommy Wiseau wig and zombie makeup, and
you had a
made a
Tommy
point-
Wiseau wig and Tommy Wiseau makeup.
exactly, and I made a specific point. I got a blue shirt, and I tried very hard to put fake blood on it in the exact same pattern as the blood like runs down his shirt after he shoots himself at the end of the room.
You and I are gonna be best friends. I could just tell.
So, but
Hello, gun barrel.
uh,
I need to inhale his soul.
The reason I bring that up specifically is I did film the whole show and do like a vlog of the night. And as part of the vlog, I just did the supercut of all the cover band jokes that they did over the course of the
That's
entire
awesome.
show.
So,
I love that.
how many versions of another? What is it? Not another. The Irish sing-along song. Have we
Oh,
heard?
another Irish drinking song.
No, the Irish sing-along song.
I don't remember because like they introduced that song around the time I no longer had energy to
Okay.
look up nearly as many
Yeah.
concert recordings as I used
Well,
to.
okay, so the chorus goes something 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 la da 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 la da da dee da something 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 la da da la da da. Oh, so at the part where they have everyone sing along, the goal is during the point out someone in the audience who is doing it weird.
Yeah.
Public shaming.
I'm the loudest person in the world, and that is a line that sounds completely different if loud. It is supposed to be mumbled. So I went whole chacarone macaron mode, and they stopped the concert, pointed at me, and went, "What was that?" I went,
Nice.
"Oh, I am free. Oh, ah,
That's dark.
it's a good one, but
Content warning for the comment I'm about to highlight here.
Uh-oh.
listen, I do not support that joke, but I will laugh at it."
Is it
I would-
better if we make it a Hemingway joke? Because that was farther longer ago.
Well, I don't know
that
that-
one's not too soon if it's
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Let's keep playing a video game.
Oh yes, Herman just asked Guybrush what happened to his spyglass.
I saw a monkey leaving here. He must have done it. 3 heads and everything.
You don't fool me, Sonny.
Excuse me, I got pressing business to attend to.
Yes, me too. It's how we end every conversation.
No, I get it, and usually just in private conversations with Ella, I will think of dark humor that I'm like, that is funny, but I should not tweet that.
Yeah.
I understand how it felt to write that, but I knew you had to because it was a good joke.
I am not going to say who this person is, but
Mhm.
somebody I know texted us when Terry Jones passed away. Texted us saying, "I want to tweet the wrong Terry died, but I can't."
Wow. Someone does not like Terry Gilliam.
Well, this was around the time Gilliam had done some bullshit transphobia in some interview or other, and
Got it. That sounds
That
par
sounds
for
like
the-
a Monty Python member.
That's funny. That is funny that there is a tribute to Brazil in Jupiter Ascending then.
Yeah.
yeah,
Two trans
yeah.
directors paying tribute to a transphobic director.
It happens.
yeah.
I haven't seen
Well-
Brazil.
Well, it's just a loving tribute to Brazil, and it's too bad Terry Gilliam died in 1980, and
I know. It's sad that
Yes,
he never got to
that's
see
really
that
a
tribute.
shame. So, if I'm not mistaken, there are 2 ways to start the fire here, correct?
I remember using the sun and the lens and the gunpowder.
I think you can also do a flint and steel with the cannonball and
Oh, you are probably right.
I want to save because I wanted to try this when I streamed this with Ella, and it turns out they did not program both into the Sega CD version of the game. But I believe both are possible, and I have not played a non-Sagacity version. It's a shame that Jupiter Ascending didn't have a lasting impact on American fashion. Listen, you're saying it sarcastically, I think, Miles, but I know you're giving it to Ella and I to say genuinely.
Just have a whole fashion line with the
It
slogan
did
that-
have a lasting impact on Wachowski fashion. The white girl dreads showed up there before they showed up in interviews.
Before they showed up on Lana Wachowski's
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. All right. Use a handful of gunpowder.
Me and Ella's opinion on the Wachowski sisters is that the straight people have so many big dumb action directors.
Yeah, where is the
That make-
LGBT Michael Bay?
That's what we got. That's who they are. So we don't like everything they do, but they wouldn't be the LGBT Michael Bay if we did.
And that's true representation. Is
It is!
when, yeah.
If all trans people were smart, then we get a sort of Get Out situation going where we're worshipped by the left, which is not those. That's where microaggressions come from.
Mm-hmm.
So we need Lily and Lana out there with the white girl dreads, making us look like
Well,
morons.
that's not.
I know.
Don't lump Lily into this. Lily doesn't have white girl dread.
You're right.
But I'm talking about big dumb explosion highway chase scene. Like the movies can be big and dumb and stupid and
I mean,
bad.
Jupiter Ascending is like
You walked
straight-
out.
Do you know how many terrible, unwatchable space operas straight people get?
Yeah, tons.
It's true.
I love
We
Jupiter
get a
Ascending.
ton of them.
I did not
Thor.
get it my first time watching it because it was my first Wachowski film. But now that I'm familiar with their
First
oeuvre, I'm like, oh, it's not supposed to be good.
No.
The Matrix is only good because Joel Silver fought tooth and nail for it to be a good film, I think.
I don't know. I feel like they had. So
I feel like
sometimes they make
I
things
feel
that
like
are good.
it's a George Lucas situation. George Lucas
You think
is the reason the Star Wars original trilogy is good, but he is not the one making it good.
Okay.
He is telling people how to make it good, and they are executing it.
I feel
So
like
think-
I don't
do I
know.
not?
I
Well,
want to give the first Matrix more credit because they're
I
writing
know.
from their experiences.
You're
Like, it
right.
wouldn't be the
I
same.
agree. It is just their experiences filtered through a 3-act structure.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's my opinion.
I guess I don't have the spyglass anymore if I open it up for the lens.
Ah.
Oh, and I saved after opening it up for the lens, so I can't use the spyglass to tell
All
which
right.
way.
Flint and steel. We're gonna Minecraft this bitch.
Do I
Ooh.
have?
Does it ever make you laugh just a little bit that the third line in Lord of the Rings is great miners and craftsmen?
Well, now it does.
The dwarves, great miners and craftsmen.
So we back in the mine.
Hey, Dave, is that the first time I've ever done a
Wait,
Galadriel
when's
impression?
that? No, it's not actually.
Why, as
Funny
a
you
matter of fact,
mention
I
that.
think we can hear both of you doing Galadriel impressions in the most recent episode of Mystery Shack.
That's
Lookback.
correct.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, golly gee. Well, that
I
would
didn't
be
know
at
that.
this link, but I only listen to podcasts if there's really cool guests on them. So
Well,
who's on this one?
unfortunately, it's me. But there is also Tony Goldmark.
Oh,
Well, unfortunately, you're all wrong.
Okay.
I
I'm
no
comfortable
longer
saying this to you, not to Tony. The weirdest part about Some Jerk with a Camera is seeing that format with a good writing. I'm like, Channel Awesome style videos aren't supposed to be.
Funny.
This is weird.
Why is it so funny?
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm like, this is the exact format, but every joke is landing, and I'm not used to it. I don't know how to process it.
Well, part of that is because, unlike certain people who we will not specifically name,
Who knows who? No way to
Tony doesn't settle for the first draft.
No. Oh boy, some people wish he would. Sometimes, just once. Some people
Just
would
to
be
make the
like,
rest of
"Hey,
us.
you could get the podcasts out on time if you didn't care so much about how they sounded." And he's like, "Well, yeah, but
I could.
if frogs had wings."
Yeah. If some butts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Do it.
I love the Michael Gay. Do not apologize for that pun. It was perfect. Michael Gay was a good joke, and it was a necessary joke. There we go. Thank you for
Michael
highlighting.
Gay.
right. Let's blow
Do
up
I
a dam.
Do I not have the flint?
It should be. What is the flint? I think it's just a rock.
Yeah, but I forget where one acquires it.
Okay.
Interesting looking rock.
Secret of Monkey Island Flint. Where's the flint? Game facts. Look at the rock that was holding down the piece of paper. So I think we have to sail to the other side, maybe?
Okay.
Do we?
Or is it?
Do we have a rock?
I
I really miss the special editions icons in the inventory.
even before the special edition, like the re-release right after this one had icons.
The CD-ROM release.
Yeah, and I think it was partly because people were confused by the rubber chicken with the pulley in the middle, because in here it just said rubber chicken and they forgot about the pulley in the middle. So
yeah, I think it was in the Sagacity version. The interesting thing about the Sagacity version, music better, load times
Not nearly.
load times, like even when it's going out of a cutscene, so it would be like I would do something and then it would need to cut to LeChuck and Bob. So it'd be
That
like,
was my first experience with Monkey.
so Sagacity would be like, all right, we're about to cut to LeChuck and Bob. So if you want to go to the bathroom, get a drink,
Get some
file
snacks.
your taxes, take a nap.
Got time for all that, to be honest. Go see your grandparents.
I'm not bothered a bit by the fact that you waltzed right into my home without bothering to knock.
I knocked. You must not have heard.
You don't fool me, Sonny.
and we're back to excuse me.
Got more pressing matters to attend to. I have to
Yes,
press
me
a
too.
rock.
And it's pressing.
CD version, load Sega CD version. Music better. Dialogue options 1, comma. Oh, Miles actually remembered what the dialogue glitch was. It was 1. So Guybrush would be like 1, and they'd be like, I'm rubber and you're glue. What? 1?
I only recently found out that you can learn one of the insults from the George Lucas troll.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my god, I didn't know that. I have to try that sometime. I will play these games for 100 years or until my death. I'm a vegetarian.
Never
Let's
comes
say
true.
let's say 100 years. I don't eat red meat. I'll play these games for 100 years and I will continue to find jokes. I'd better leave it here. Notice of public meeting. There will be a meeting Wednesday evening to discuss the recent occupation of the sacred monkey head by the ghost pirate LeChuck and the subsequent impact on the environment and tourist trade. All Monkey Island TM cannibals are encouraged to attend. Now, here's a question. What is the company making return again?
Ron's company is Terrible Toy Box, and there's something
Miles knows. Miles knows the company.
Devolver Digital, maybe?
Devolver, that's it. So should I tweet at my Guybrush impression at Ron, Dave, Dominic, and Devolver, and then say, do you need anyone to voice Guybrush Q 3-put?
Yeah.
I believe.
Do you remember Miles, Dave? Miles was the guest in Irrational Treasure, and he was the fatter one in the 2 comedic duos in Pirates of the Caribbean, the Driftwood Saga. He was Pintel, and I forget if it's Mulroy or Murtaugh.
Here, I'm getting the spyglass again, so I can actually use it to tell where I'm launching a rock.
Yes. Where are you launching a rock?
Launch a rock.
I want a rock.
Rock?
Yeah. Everybody wants a rock to wind a piece of string around.
Yeah.
I want to munch.
Squad?
I want to munch.
The first time I heard that actually was when we picked up Alex, who played Craig Zobel in Experimental Film. We had to drive all the way through Pennsylvania and pick him up in Western Pennsylvania and then drive back to New Jersey.
Ew.
And I had never listened to my brother and me at that point. So for an entire hour leg of the journey, Alex and Haley just were Alex was playing guitar in the back, and they were saying, "I want to march, squad. I want for an hour."
Great.
That is a long span of time to be doing that. Bit
It
over and
certainly
over.
is.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is maddening.
It is. I can
Oh,
Yeah,
confirm.
Ella lives in Philly, and she never ventures west. That's not how you
We
do
just
it.
don't talk. We don't mention it. Don't.
I drove past a barn with a big
I-
banner, a big giant banner that stretched across the whole barn on the side that said computer repair. And I was like, I doubt it. You claim that that's what goes on in that barn. I'd have to see it. It doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
I went to college in Pennsylvania, and I did a semester at Temple University. So
Ooh.
I kind of know the Philly area, even though I barely left my dorm during that semester.
Where,
Fair.
you're from the East Coast originally?
Yeah, I'm originally from. I grew up in Connecticut. Went to school in Pennsylvania. Spent time down in Florida. Just all up and down the East Coast.
Don't do that.
I've done New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey, but it's a shame I didn't meet you when you lived in Connecticut, huh?
Yeah,
Or-
well, next time I'm on the East Coast, which and my wife's family's from DC, so we still visit out there occasionally. So
Ella and I are collecting friends from LA at this point.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's our pod parents, of course. There's my ship to the left, and the big tree on the beach to the right.
okay, we are almost aimed.
I'm
at
glad
the
that his ship is to the left. It would have been uncomfortable if it was to the right.
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
a
what
it's a
we did
left
with
leaning
that.
ship.
But that banana tree. A left-leaning ship is a bad thing. That's what's known in the industry as a capsize, Dave. That
Fine.
doesn't mean it's empathetic.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with cake capsize.
Yeah.
Yes. I get the joke, sort of. It's not really a joke. The joke is
I just mentioned a character.
that Steven Spielberg plays LucasArts games sometimes.
Yeah,
That is the
and
joke.
they wanted to see if he'd notice.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's also wow. Looked like it hit the big banana tree on the beach. I bet the odds against that are incredible. I think it's 20% Temple of Doom joke and 80%. I wonder what
Yeah.
Steven will think of this joke. Mr. Toothrot, please remove this dangerous object. Lemonhead knocked a rock onto it from the cliff above it and nearly sank a passing ship. The cannibals.
So that note is a clue for the puzzle that I just completed.
Yeah, the problem with adventure games is you need to be able to pay attention to be good at them.
You can do it in any order.
Yeah, but also like they give you clues in dialogue, and if you don't pay attention to dialogue, you're not going to know what to do.
Here it is,
Yeah.
the noteworthy rock. This is the flint.
And it doesn't seem to work. Cannonball. You got to put the gunpowder down first.
Right.
Just starting a spark doesn't do it. Are you trying to light a cigarette there, Dave?
One little spark.
One little spark.
Trying to cook some high dad soup?
There we
I
go.
remember High Dad.
I can put my head in the sound shield. Ah!
We have experienced both ways to solve the damn puzzle.
Alex,
Solve a damn puzzle already.
or if we're talking gender, I experience both ways. The damn puzzle. I get it.
Damn darn puzzle.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I got to tell you about Damn Darn. My summer camp did a production of Little Shop, and they were asked not to swear, but not given new versions of the script. They still had the version of Little Shop Junior that they purchased. You know, that's how doing local theater works.
Of course.
So they just gave the stage direction: don't say damn roses, damn thorns. Say darn roses, darn thorns. But this performer who played Seymour memorized the script by reading it. So in the final performance, caught himself and would go, damn, darn roses, damn, darn thorns. So my family to this day uses damn darn as an expletive.
Damn
Damn
darn.
darn.
Damn darn roses. Damn darn thorns. And when I saw that was the first production of Little Shop I saw, I've since seen 30. I used to
Yeah.
just check the newspaper for colleges doing productions of Little Shop when I was bored
Nice.
because I prefer the stage version. And well, now I have a good video of the stage version. Our friend Steven found one with Mushnik that feels just like someone's old Jewish grandpa who walked on stage. Does not feel like a fictional character in the slightest. Which is, I love exaggerated Mushniks like the one in the movie, but the fact that I'm like, oh, this is just a guy whose name is Mr. Mushnik.
Yeah, that's great too.
My friend Jamie from Glasgow told me that he saw a production of Little Shop with Sylvester McCoy as Mushnik, and
Oh, wow.
I hate myself for not seeing that. Sylvester McCoy, of course, of the Unexpected Journey fame.
Yes. Everyone's favorite wizard, Radagast.
Adagast.
Ratatouille.
Also known as Santa Claus.
You know.
He pulls that he rides a sled pulled by rabbits, which is not from the Silmarillion. So people are like, why is he Santa Claus now? Herman, please return our key to the monkey head. The cannibals.
You know, from Christmas. The holiday.
Did you come in the ship I saw out there? You're braver than you look.
No, I'm not.
Hi, I get it. I get the joke.
It's like a Star War.
I'm exactly as brave as I look. What do you mean braver than I look?
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
I am distinctly less brave than I look. People assume, I don't know why, because I have muscles and a beard, I guess, that I'm capable of handling anything. Nope. Ella can tell you this. I don't do any of that. What happened to your pants?
What pants?
Wish Gilbert Gottfried could have been Mr. M.
Could have been Mushnik.
Mr. Mushnik, but also Herman Toothrot.
Seymour.
How would you like to be my son? How would you like to be my own adopted boy? Never cared much before, but now I...
That's the cash that's in the drawer. I've got no choice. I must do, poor.
Mushnik and son! That's
If
that!
I mean, we know he can sing.
Yeah, I know. That's it. I've had it. I hate to be dramatic, but it's time for me to fly the coop. Rest in peace. Terrific! Fine! I'll draw the line before I wind up in a parrot soup. I was a fool to let you run the show. I'm cutting you loose, pal. Look out below. Arrivederci. C'est la vie. From here on in, I'm looking out for me.
Good song.
Some people just have Return of Jafar songs memorized. It's fine.
Forget about that.
Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just glad to see us? You got a lot of nerve
stealing from the notorious Monkey Island trademark Disney cannibals. You're cannibals?
Well, yes. Although lately we've been trying to stay away from red meat.
Only for health reasons. We're still as vicious as ever.
Especially with tourists who try to steal our stuff for souvenirs. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
You got to do it. You know what you have to do. Because you know it. You have to do it twice for the thing to happen.
Yeah, I need to. Again, it's possible I've never once chosen any of these other options.
You can save and we can take a look for the first time.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
But I want to see my shower curtain. I've shown you that, right?
You have, yes.
It's no longer in my office because I needed a shower curtain when I moved here, and I was like, what?
You mean I have to use the shower
I'm a mighty
curtain?
pirate.
That means his skin will be leathery and his meat tough and stringy. You are of no use to us nutritionally speaking, but if you had some sort of offering for us, something that we could pass on to the great monkey, we might be persuaded to let you leave here uncooked.
Oh, I forgot that the shark head's voice is supposed to be a little more gay. Because it's, well, no, because that was the special edition. Even still, it's 2009. Don't eat me. I'll give you anything.
Anything? Okay, that option has the fewest jokes.
Oh, go ahead and eat me. See if I care.
Hey, whatever you say. We might eat you, we might let you go. We'll have to talk about it with the village nutritionist. Come, let me show you our guest hut. That should do it. Okay, so that skips the offering option.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual canon response.
Look behind you! A three-headed monkey!
Hey, do you really think we're that stupid? I wouldn't push it if I were you.
It says you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. And I'm like, good thing I'm not paranoid. That's an upsetting sentence. Look behind you! A three-headed monkey!
Ha! We're not gonna fall for that old trick again. I guess we'll eat you now. I feel like
Unless
unless something we could pass on to the great monkey, we might be persuaded to let you leave here uncooked. That's another gag where it's like the one head takes the bite, the other head chews, and the third head swallows. And I believe.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
I believe that is a throwback to the Three Stooges snoring gag.
Got it. Okay. I love Ella actually picked. I sent Ella the sprite sheet of the three-headed monkey, and she picked the one for my shower curtain. And then Lemonhead, I believe, doesn't talk here. But then he's the only one that shows up in Curse, and the voice that he has in Curse was who voices the main cannibal in the special edition. So Lemonhead loses his voice, gets his voice given to someone else.
Maybe they switched hats. Maybe it's the same cannibal just wearing Lemonhead's head.
I'm not giving you bloodsuckers your key to the monkey head until you return my banana picker. HT. That stands for Horatio Torquemada. It says, if found, please return to Herman Toothrot. Looks loose. Anyway, I'm glad it is this most holy day. No, I'm good. I'm drinking water. This is water.
And no, I'm not getting squeamish. I'd love to eat the guy.
So let's do it.
But think of your arteries.
We are cannibals, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but cannibals have to watch their saturated fats just like anyone else.
So are you imitating Curse Lemonhead, or have you played the special edition enough to remember his voice here?
I haven't played the special edition enough, but I saw like trailers for it enough, and I remember is that a banana in your pocket was in one of the trailers.
The joke Ella and I always make is not mutually exclusive. Someone can have a banana in their pocket and also
I'm delighted to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Oh, that's my lunch. But that doesn't negate the fact that I am happy to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, you should walk through that head and go to the cut screen. Let's look at that waterfall. I don't think I want to get any closer to that thing. It might be booby trapped. It might have, if you examine the code in the game, like actually open up and read the code, there's in that screen, there are people bitching for about it being cut, just writing it in with the rest of the code.
The banana thief returns to the scene of the crime.
Maybe we should just eat him right now.
Do you have any idea how much cholesterol is in one of these things? Now then, how did you break out of our hut, and why did you come back?
Oh my god, it's 4/16, guys, on April 20th. Go ahead and eat me. See if I care.
Hey, whatever you say. That should do it. I can't remember how many times they...
Oh, you just want to see the locks get more and more elaborate is why you're doing this on repeat?
Yeah, pretty much.
Good thing you set aside a 3-hour portion for us to stream today.
Yes, which we should mention. What might be happening after this stream later today that you two are involved in?
Well, you'd have to give us money first, but you're welcome to watch the three of us. You said you were joining.
Yes, I can make it.
You're
today.
able to watch Dungeons and more dungeons with us in our Patreon stream and our Discord. If you already know me, you can get in for free. Miles and no wait, Drew is also a Patreon. Drew is an admin and can get in for free and then pledge to the Patreon. And I keep telling him like, you don't have to. No one is required to give me money ever, and everyone is welcome to at any time.
This is true.
I have a Ko-fi like the rest of us.
I see. Normally when I'm streaming, I am just promoting the many ways you can give me money. But today,
Some of those are not ways to give you money.
some of them are just ways to follow me, where I will tell you about ways to give me money.
Okay. Follow my
But-
Twitter for more information on how to give me money.
But today I am plugging my friends here and their Patreon Mystery Shack Lookback, where
Oh,
if you join at the $5 tier, it unlocks the live streams.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's correct.
That sounds like an Ella thing. Telling which number's which doesn't sound. That's out of my jurisdiction, buddy.
That is accurate. $5, yes.
So yes, if you join the Mystery Shack Lookback Patreon at the $5 tier, you can later today watch the episode that we covered on today's episode of the podcast in a group watch format.
Should I have in 2 minutes? Should I just have like a little bit of CBD? Because like, you know, sacrilege. Otherwise, I don't think I've ever done it this many times to see that Sprite.
That might
know
be
what?
the last one.
I'm gonna go get the CBD. I don't want to. You know, it'd be like not leaving out cookies for Santa.
Of course, it's an essential part of the experience.
Wait, what are you talking about, Miles? Gilbert Gottfried has been Mr. M. Mr. Nix. Wool. Blick. Plick. I don't remember how to pronounce it.
I try to give you money when it causes you to wish I didn't give you money. That is true. Miles only pledged to the Patreon. Miles lives with his grandma and gets to keep most of the money he makes from work and can afford to pledge to the Patreon, but only did it when we needed and only did it to listen to Dog with a Pod one day early.
Of course.
Well,
The
Miles
only
is a big
essential oil.
contributor
All right.
to Dog
It
Food.
is now in my time zone, 16:20 on April 20th. Wait. So
Mhm.
here we go. It's CBD. It's accommodative. It's non-psychoactive. I'm going to be normal on the stream, I promise.
Well, that is not what I signed up for. Nobody's supposed to be
Okay.
normal
Yeah.
here.
Then, okay, full disclosure, it's CBD 10-1. So there's a tiny little bit of not normal in there.
Stop walking around, monkey. I'm trying to give you banana.
I'm just going to tweet that as a quote from you out of context real quick.
Absolutely.
Give banana.
This is not the most tedious puzzle in adventure gaming, but it's not an untedious puzzle to just keep
It
accumulating
is the most
bananas.
tedious puzzle in adventure game when you can't figure out how to work the mouse on the Sega CD emulator.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
So if you're playing it on the Sega CD with the controller, with the D-pad, it is. It's number one. It wins. Did they name the D-pad after you, much like the D-list?
The D-pad, the show where I pad things, and
I think
Welcome back
who
to
was
the
it? Who did we say the B plot was named after? We've made the joke twice
I
because we
don't
made
know.
it. But okay,
I
we'll
don't
say
remember
Bill
thing.
Cipher. It's the Bill Memorial Plot or B
Yeah.
plot for short in Last Maplecorn specifically.
Oh yeah.
The Bill Memorial Plot.
Yeah.
Bill Memorial Plot.
I used to drive to Maryland a lot. In Lost Legend, in the dub of the official Gravity Falls graphic novel, which is my main source of income, Mabel is voiced by Courtney Williams, aka Mystic Power Freak, who does a Mabel impression for Yuffie in Team 4 Stars Final Fantasy VII Machine Abridged. And I used to hang out with her a lot during the year when that was in production. And every time we would pass the Delaware Memorial Bridge, and I'd go, "What happened to Delaware? Oh no!"
For Delaware.
Similarly, on the way to MagFest, which is also in Maryland, but it was a different bridge, we would make the joke of some memorial bridge that we did not recognize the name of, like, it's not doing its job.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Why, that's the second biggest monkey head I've ever seen.
Dun, da, da.
And then you play Spy Fox, and you get to hear an impression of the voice.
That's true.
Because the '90s culture was just boomers referencing Get Smart. It looks like a sacred idol of some kind. Yeah, of some kinds.
Now
It looks like, you know what it looks like?
What's that?
Underutilized impulse control.
Hmm.
Rabid, rampant, raving, screaming junk food black hole. Loopy cravings?
Rigmarole.
Feel his giant feet right in your soul.
Am I remembering correctly that in the special edition they replaced the Salmon Max idol with a Day of the Tentacle idol?
Yes, that is or Dave of the Tentacle. Dave of the Timtacle, I like to call it. Because Dave and Tim wrote it. They did, I believe they did that with one of the other. It's a cheap piece of mass-produced tourist crap. I doubt anyone will miss this particular piece of junk. What a cheap piece of mass-produced tourist crap. The one idol looks like the salesman from Deltarune Chapter 2. Spamton! First appearance of Spamton, 1990. That's the one on the right in between the N and the one with the arrow on its head. There we go! The guy, Spamton is from Deltarune Chapter 2? No. Spamton is in Deltarune Chapter 2. Spamton is from Secret of Monkey Island.
Obviously.
Wait, real quick. Just no, wait. Oh, okay. I have some friends who are really in the Spamton fandom, so I just really wanted to.
Just, you want a screenshot?
Yeah, okay, we're good. You can go.
All
Sorry.
right. And then that monkey just stays there to die. Now I got to walk all the way back to the beach to get to the rowboat to go all the way back around.
I get a lot of comments that are like, why does Maple sound like a bridged Yuffie? And I'm like, no, a bridged Yuffie sounds like Mabel. And that's why she's voicing. Oh, you weren't thinking Spamton. Oh, well, I said Spamton. Too bad. I haven't played Deltarune. Actually, despite the fact that it sounds like a me thing, RPGs are too mathematical for my entirely right brain. Point and clicks are RPGs where you can sit and think about what to do for 3 years if you need to.
We have spoken on the newest Mystery Shack Lookback about my lack of Dungeons and Dragons experience, and
well, Dungeons and Dragons is different in that I can take 3 years. It will just piss off the DM.
It will really annoy someone.
But there are the consequences are that a human being gets upset, not that I lose the game, which is different. So
which is consequences you can live with.
I can take my time to think about my decision and then apologize for it in a D&D scenario.
Yeah.
I love a primitive yet effective way.
In a primitive yet effective way, it's locked. A game that transes your gender. Welcome, Mary. Mary knows.
Hello, Mary.
Mary is our guest from Dog with a Pod, Dave. And
many other
episodes. Yeah, no, we just hang out with Mary all the time now.
And am I correct that you have another Gravity Falls podcast?
That's correct. Into the Falls, the
That's
Gravity
true.
Falls podcast that Mary.
I enjoy that one as well.
Mary has the best Gravity Falls rewatch podcast.
Objectively.
I'm comfortable saying that because I actually receive no consequences from telling people my art isn't good and never have.
Uh-huh.
So I'm allowed to if it's nice to someone else. Don't eat me. I'll give you anything.
We'll give you one more chance to trade something of yours for your freedom.
It would be so good to watch a campaign with y'all and the other theme park guys. Yeah, a bunch of theme park people and Charlie playing a game together.
Hey, wow, this is impressive. Lemonhead, take a look at this. Lemonhead does have a line.
Simple, just like one of mine. I didn't remember he talked, and I don't remember his. And it says, "Made by Lemonhead, just like one of mine. We should take this to the Great Monkey."
More water for the water god.
We are very grateful to you for this fine gift. If there's ever anything you need on Monkey Island, just come see us.
Oh, I can manufacture Monkey Island references in the real time fandoms of Pirates of the Caribbean that I did not start. So when Elizabeth initially mistakes Will for a piece of driftwood, I'm like, driftwood is something that both Haggis McMutton and Davy Nipperkin mistakenly call Guybrush. I have the opportunity to make that Will's name. And similarly, I told to get the Pelagostos in Dead Man's Chest sounding like the Monkey Island cannibals, I told their voice actor, "Can you do the Planet of the Apes voices from Spaceballs?" There goes the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
All I want is my banana
Oh,
picker back.
shit.
But will they give it to me? They want the monkey head key back first. That'll be the day. Don't you think they're being unreasonable?
Yeah, I used to
Haven't
watch
done it
my
before.
video premieres on the TV and then have the chat pulled up on my phone, which was the most fun and convenient way for me to do it. But yeah, the chat was always 5 seconds ahead of us.
I mean, we talk on Mystery Shack Lookback that I am just collecting pipe dream podcasts.
Yeah, well, we just got followed by a new Gravity Falls rewatch podcast that is still doing the pre-prep for its
Nice.
first episode. So they're probably going to ask us to guest.
Nice. There are there's so much material there. There could be infinite Gravity Falls rewatch.
Yeah, 'cause
podcasts.
I don't think any other podcast is going to talk about Matt Chapman as much as me, and so they don't have to because I already did. Like,
Yeah,
like
everyone-
reviewer dibs ain't a thing.
But every podcast can tackle it from different angles.
That's exactly right.
Like the
Charlie got into these games last year, and now I'm further ahead in the LGBT pirate show than they are. Well, I no longer do things that bring me joy for some reason. I don't know. I don't have motivation to. Let's not worry about it. It could be a number of things. It sure is, Miles.
there's just so much good pirate content. It's
I know. I still haven't watched Go Kaiger or The Goonies.
Hey, thanks. I thought I'd never see this again. Here, you can take this key to the monkey head back to the natives.
But there's so much good pirate content. Why would you watch the Goonies?
And don't worry, I won't use it or anything because people mention The Goonies to me when I say I'm a pirate, and I feel guilty for not being able to.
Oh.
It's
I
like-
think you feel more guilty after watching the Goonies.
Okay.
you just need it for the frame of reference, not like it's research at that point.
Absolutely. I also find it fascinating. Well, for one, Hook is very good.
Mm-hmm.
I like Hook. I like that. I mean, speaking of LGBT pirates, Dustin Hoffman and Bob Hoskins read Peter and Wendy together to try to brainstorm their portrayals, and they're like, "Oh, these two are married," and they went to Spielberg with it and was like, "So this is a kids movie. Please don't put that in here." And then they did. That was what they went with for their performance. To Herman Toothrot from Yammer, Hem, and Haw, attorneys at law. They should have called the attorneys and escaped that. That would have been so funny. Reese, suit
Yeah.
against Hannibal Tribe, against I think we have a case here. We can probably soak them for emotional distress and possibly punitive damages as well. Huh. Sounds like legalese. I don't think I can translate the rest. That's my Phoenix Wright voice. It's very similar to my Guybrush voice. But
Which is very
Sounds like-
similar to your voice.
Sounds like Legolas.
sounds like Legolas.
Legalese is just a slightly different spelling of Legolas.
I always heard it as Lego Lost.
I lost my leg. What, did you check the couch cushions?
Thank you. Yeah, that's a good idea. I never
Lego
can.
Lost.
'Cause Honey is always sitting on the couch. She is the laziest rabbit in the world.
And now,
Avengers is a Norse mythology movie. I think you've just pinpointed exactly my parameters for calling something pirate media.
what about the film Pirate Radio?
I haven't seen it either. I'll check that one out. And The Lighthouse, and what else?
All right, now into the tongue.
Who would have expected that hell would be real and that it's in New Jersey?
Well,
Well, we've
I
been
like
there
how-
actually. Ella and I went.
I like how all the text is red now.
The music video, so to speak, of My Heart's in Gravity Falls was actually shot at one of the
In hell?
spots the devil's what is it? The
Pine
Devil's
Barren.
Pool. We were shot it in the Pine Barrens at a spot that is said to be a straight the Blue Hole in Monroe, New Jersey, which is said to not have a bottom, and that if you drown, you continue drowning up. Bye, Dave.
Hi.
And our flag means death, so you could talk about it with Mary. Mary, speaking of Mary and gay pirate media, I read better. I read graphic novels better when I'm reading with someone. I've been putting off reading Tell No Tales, which is a graphic novel about Anne Bonny and Mary Read that has homosexual and non-binary characters. Your name's Mary. Let's do this. Let's
Wow.
pull it up on Comixology and read it together sometime. There is no Doggin. Singular. Doggins is plural, I think.
There never was.
Yes, there are multiple of me. Well, I talked about this, I think the first time I was on Fahugwa Pods, but when I was in high school, I knew 5 other Daves, and
Oh,
at a certain point, we decided that Dave is the singular noun, and the David is the collective plural noun for all of the Daves.
yes. Okay. Yeah. I keep asking every time a new Michael or David guests on Fuku Pods, I ask Michael and David what to update me on the count. Because how many do you feel there's been? Because David Spencer, you,
Yeah, there was at least one before me.
you're not even the first.
At least one. I don't
You're
think
on
I was
that
the
many
first.
episodes of the podcast that served as the format inspiration for Come On Fuku Pods, and you're not even the second David on it. Well, you're the second David on ours, I think.
I will take it.
No, that's true.
We used to have a David voice Dipper in everything before I learned a Dipper impression.
Mm-hmm.
Just no thanks. Generosity is its own reward. I don't want to win puzzles in this game.
That's the wrong it's. That's the wrong it's. If you want it to be possessive, it's IT apostrophe. But
That's a real word crime.
if you want it to be possessive, it's just IT, yes. But if it's supposed to be a contraction, it is IT apostrophe yes.
Scalawag.
Thank you. We're the only people living on Monkey Island, trademark Disney.
Well, the only civilized people.
Well, that's okay. The people I'm looking for aren't living.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Then you've seen the ghost pirate LeChuck and his cadaverous crew.
Zooming around here in that creepy ghost ship of theirs, wailing and moaning until all hours of the morning, scaring away all the cruise ship. No, that's you.
Scaring
Sorry.
away all the cruise ship business.
Normally, when we have problems, we just cook up our standard potion of exorcism and be done with it.
A David of Daves. There we go. You got the nomenclature. What's the difference? Just nomenclature. Assuming you've heard Earl Bowen isn't coming back for a return. I know, and I'm really upset.
Yeah, that was the one thing in the interviews with Ron and Dave that I read, which I had not shared details with you about because I know you were trying to go in relatively blind.
I'm going in blind.
The one thing I read in the interview that made me sad was that they couldn't get Earl back. They tried.
He is
reached
retired.
out to him. He is
And
retired. He was retired in 2009. So the fact that
That
they
is
got him
correct,
back,
and that is why he is not in the original release of the launch of the Screaming Narwhal.
yes.
When did the first Terminator come out?
First one was
84.
84, I think.
Yeah, so he is best known as being middle-aged in 1984.
Yes.
I believe he's bald in that movie.
He is. There's also, he's in an episode of Newhart from, I think, 82, where he is, his normal middle-aged bald self. And he's also like this very upbeat character in that episode. And I'm just watching it thinking, how did LeChuck's voice come out of you?
Have you seen the Pirates of the Dark Water?
I am disappointed Earl Bowen's not coming back, but I like that they tried to get him, and I like that, like they said, he gave his blessing to whoever takes over for him. So I just hope that we all receive the replacement Earl Bowen, the replacement LeChuck, better than we received the Chapter 1 of Tales replacement LeChuck.
So, have you heard of the Pirates of the Dark Water?
I'm not sure.
Okay, it is a TV show from a cartoon that was on Fox Kids, 1991. But what's fascinating to me is Tim Curry is one of the villains. So you got Long John. Earl Bowen is one of the villains. So you got LeChuck.
All right.
Neil Ross, who is Wally B. Feed in LeChuck's Revenge Special Edition and Curse of Monkey Island. And also Jodie Benson is in it.
Wow.
And it's just like, how do people... So we gotta watch this together at some point.
I am intrigued by this cast.
I mean, it's my Patreon stream, and we usually do them for an hour, even though the episodes are 22 minutes. We could do it today, and no one could say no.
So a very
Oh yeah, that was a joke I made
when
when Mary and I were waiting in line to meet Neil Hamburger. I asked if Jason Ritter voiced in Clifford because John Ritter voiced Clifford in the animated series, and Mary said no, Clifford doesn't talk in this, and I said I didn't ask if he voiced Clifford. And Mary's like, are you asking if Jason Ritter had a one-line cameo as the only talking dog in the world of this movie? And I'm like, yes, that's what I was asking. And she said, no, he doesn't. What?
I mean, it's not, again, tying it back to Get Smart, it's not that different from Don Adams having the cameo as the voice of Brain in the end credits of the Inspector Gadget movie.
Weird.
It's also... Between the live action Inspector Gadget 1 and 2, between both of those movies, they have 3 of the main cast members from the very short-lived 1995 Get Smart reboot.
All right, so if you had to pick as a Don Adams replacement, French Stewart, Matthew Broderick or Steve Carell?
See, of the three of them, I think Carell is probably the best actor, but French Stewart's normal voice is the closest to Don Adams' voice.
Yes, I really liked Steve Carell as Maxwell Smart. That was the only one where I was he's pulling it off.
I mean, the one true Don Adams replacement is Maurice LaMarche. So,
yeah, I mean, day one of Inspector Gadget, Maurice LaMarche was doing Don was voicing him sometimes.
Yep. And and in the live action Inspector Gadget crossover with Super Mario Brothers Super Show, it was
it's weird that Mo LaMarche was ever in shape. He hated being in shape. He hated looking good for the camera. And whenever you hear him talk about how he has been given the luxury to let himself get fat and old and ugly, he sounds just so happy. So seeing him back when he still did auditions for on-camera work, and seeing him look attractive, I'm like, poor Mo, he hates it.
Yeah.
But now he's happy, and honestly, now I want to see him do live action Orson Welles.
He looks like him now. I like the later year Orson Welles, who would, anytime a film student would be like, "You're an inspiration to me," he'd be like, "Do you have a couch I could sleep on?"
In July.
Especially when he's got his beard at its longest. That's when I just want.
Alternatively, I would like to see a wrestling match between him and Vincent D'Onofrio, who is very mad that he got ADR'd in Ed Wood because he worked really hard on the voice. I would like to see both of them in character, no holds barred. Orson versus Orson.
Probably about like 15 years ago, James Adomian did a video where he was spoofing the Paul Masson outtakes, where he was playing Orson Welles, just a parody of those outtakes. And at one point he went into the "We know a remote farm in Lincolnshire." The director's like, "Wrong commercial, Orson."
I don't even remember why, but I found an instance of me in the podcast naturally starting a sentence with "in July" and putting emphasis on "in," and I sent it to Ella, so excited. I'm like, "It's real! It's real! The prophecy comes true!" And it sounded naturalistic.
Let's get a jury.
Yeah, Brain's voice is an Orson.
And I'm like, I think I unfortunately have to go down on or make cheese for Maurice LaMarche now.
I mean,
find me someone who can say start a sentence with "in July" and put emphasis on "in," and I'll go down on them. That's me. Good luck, Orson.
Time to resurrect Orson because he has unfinished business.
Voice is an Orson Welles impression when he's talking quietly, and is a Vincent Price impression when he raises the volume, because Maurice LaMarche felt that the energy was not present in any Orson Welles performance to match what is needed for voiceover, so came up with that.
Yeah.
He also, I can't remember the name of the animator that Brain is a caricature of.
Tom Minton. There we go.
Right.
Between you and I, we never need to look anything up again. Between the three of us, exactly. Google is irrelevant.
But I remember Mo talking in an interview about how, like, if he had known that it was a caricature of Tom Minton, and then he would have felt compelled to do a Tom Minton impression, and then he would not have gotten the job.
He also, I mean, that's the opposite story of when they told him we don't want a Harold Ramis impression because, focusing on doing the impression would affect the naturalistic performance. And he was like, unless I can do it naturalistic. But he didn't say that. He just went in, did a Harold Ramis impression as he was told not to, and then expected not to get the job for it. And then got the job.
And it's because of that Bill Murray demanded that
Just as a
that
joke
Lorenzo
at a
music be
party,
replaced.
not even like literally actually asking anyone to recast something. Just like as a joke was like, hey, why do I sound like
Yeah.
Garfield? It's like, cause you sound like Garfield, idiot.
Harold's guy sounds like him.
Yeah. And then
Well,
yeah.
and also Ernie Hudson auditioned for
We
Real
were about to
Ghostbusters?
tell the exact same anecdote. Yeah, Ernie Hudson has no idea what they did not call him and tell him why he didn't get the role. So to this day, he is just going with his best guess.
Aw.
Like, maybe I didn't sound enough like me.
I mean, it's probably just one of those things where whoever was in charge was like, Arsenio's performance is more of what we need for a cartoon.
Or possibly it was that they knew that it would lead to way more people complaining about the other three actors not returning.
That's also possible.
But the fact that it's
Or-
a pre-fame Arsenio, the fact
Mhm.
that they went with a budget replacement instead of the original actor who turned into a massive celebrity. But every single person who worked on the Real Ghostbusters has since become famous.
That's true.
Who was the showrunner?
There's also, was it J. Michael Straczynski?
It was J. Michael Straczynski. It was one of his first jobs.
There's also a non-zero chance that somebody thought if we have the actual guy from the movie do it, he's going to demand way more money. Whether that was true or not, they might have.
It does not seem true. It seems Ernie Hudson just likes working.
All right, I think
Anyway,
I
we're
gotta
playing
head
a
out,
game.
for now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Ella.
Yeah, of course. And thank you for doing the stream to promote an episode of our podcast.
Yeah, we didn't even pay you
indeed.
to promote it.
And an episode of the podcast Mystery Shack Lookback. A nostalgia
yeah,
podcast
you were
for
on an
No
episode
Spoilers
of the
book club of the
podcast?
original.
You were on a podcast that Ella and I host? Wow, people should check that out, huh?
It's almost like it's a great podcast even when I'm not on it, and everyone should have been listening to it this whole time. And also, probably most of the people in this chat already do listen to it.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was. I got like no sleep the night before we recorded, but it was still so much fun to do.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the stream.
And Ella, Dave told me that his favorite part was the opening monologue, and I was like, no, it shouldn't be because you're in the rest of it. He said, I can hear my jokes anytime.
Yeah, that's true.
I can. Yeah. If I want to hear a Dave joke, I can just tell myself one. But how often do I get to hear a non-written by me pastiche of the opening of Lord of the Rings?
Have you written a pastiche of the opening of Lord of the Rings?
I have in the past in projects that are mostly lost to time, but I can talk about those.
Sorry for keeping you, Ella.
It's all right. Have a good rest of the stream.
And we've got nothing accomplished.
Happy holiday.
Yeah.
Blessed day.
Happy, yes.
Someone was posting a picture of I don't know, it was like, my landlord says it will cost $420 to fix this, and someone stitched it with, we do not use the sacred number for evil.
We do not say it in vain.
Landlords don't get to use that number. That's not theirs. Except my landlord, who wrote on the lease, please smoke weed outdoors. These apartments are not well ventilated. I'm like, you just expect me to smoke weed so much that you've put it on my lease?
So it's not even if you're going to smoke, do it outdoors. It's just
no. He thinks I'm about. He fully believes I'm about to, without me telling him. I'm not, by the way. I never inhale smoke. Hurts my lungs. Where is it hiding? Or where's he hiding? Excuse me.
He's in a place beneath the island, somewhere in a huge system of catacombs.
That's
a little hellish place filled with the wailing of tortured souls trapped forever, etc., etc. Where the walls bleed and the air is thick with the rancid smell of pure evil.
Tourists used to line up for hours to see it. and will again in 2 more games.
Yeah.
And then LeChuck came and ruined everything, right?
No, we lost the key. Well, we loaned it to a hermit who lives on the island.
And until that crusty old pantless weirdo brings it back, we're keeping his banana picker.
Crusty old pantless weirdo would be a great Twitter bio for someone.
Crusty old pantless weirdo is my blank cover band. Finish the joke, Dave.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer. I don't have the punchline. I just have
Is
to say
my Gigi Allen cover band?
No, I got it. I got it. It's
Yeah.
It's gotta be Aerosmith.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Aerosmith.
It's got to be Aerosmith.
How do I get to these catacombs?
The Great Monkey himself is the gateway to the catacombs of the underworld.
I'm off to find LeChuck and get the root.
Sorry, but it's just not that easy. Trying to find the Chuck could be very dangerous.
You'd never find your way through the catacombs without the
Hey, it's Nay on the Edhay of the Avigator Nay.
what? Nothing. I love that, like, Pig Latin jokes and, like, there's, like, these jokes that are in every single thing that came out around this general period of time. And
Things that were...
It's the people
Yeah,
who grew up when
jokes
there
that
were
were-
10 channels. It's that the writers grew up when there were 10 channels. So the reason this is written exactly like Animaniacs is because they have a pretty uniform, homogenized childhood.
Just things in the zeitgeist because there weren't a million different little niche subcultures that were...
No, there was
easily findable
culture.
back then.
There was one culture,
Yeah.
the monoculture back then. There wasn't in 1990, but there was when the people who wrote this grew up.
And so there was sort of a second artificial monoculture just because all the subcultures were being created by people who grew up on that first monoculture.
That's correct. Now, you wrote Lecoq. If you are the first person, his whole thing is that the woman he's in love with is married to someone else. If you were the first person to make that joke, I would be, I mean, 1, you deserve an award. But 2, I would be very surprised.
I don't recall ever coming across it before, but that is a solid yes.
It explains
It
itself.
works.
Well, we don't have time to explain it to ourselves. Ode uye avhe ewe.
Ari say,
We could at
okay.
least tell him what the head does.
Well, it's a navigating tool.
It's a head. It was once attached to a navigator.
We've kept it alive magically so we can take advantage of its innate sense of direction. Getting through the catacombs without it is impossible.
But it's our only one, so you can't have it.
I guess we have nothing to offer you.
And after
he gave us that
nice idol, too.
Feel free to come to the Great Monkey and visit your idol anytime. So anyway, Lemonhead, what was that you were saying about tropical oils?
Well, you and I...
Is it also...
What?
I was asking, is it also Patrick Penny doing the cannibal? Because I realize as I'm doing it, I'm just doing the Stan voice again.
It's similar, but I don't think it's Pat Penny.
Okay.
Okay, I'm behind the voice
trying to
actors. It is S. Scott Bullock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's not coming directly to mind what he's best known for.
I recognize the name, but I can't specifically place
Oh well,
it.
Mary has been rewatching Fairly Odd Parents, so she'll be very excited to learn that in Wishology, he is Eliminator number 2, Guy in Crowd, Trooper number 1, and Usher, common noun, radio announcer, and Elder number 1.
All right. Was he? Did you say he was both Elder number 2 and Elder number 1?
He was Elder number 1 in Wishology, Fairly Odd Parents in Wishology. In Secret of Monkey Island
It was
Special
something
Edition,
number
he
2.
is Otis, and oh boy, he's Otis. Cool. Good job, friend. He has so many characters in Flapjack. Uh-oh, Dave died again. He's still playing. He's just not there.
Glitches. I'm back. Anyway.
Hi, how are you?
Oh,
Good.
you know, I keep falling into the netherworld. Well, look at this. It looks like instructions on how to get ahead.
Get it? Get ahead in navigating. We could give him our head and use these instructions to get ourselves a new one.
Yes, I suppose we can give you this now.
Thanks.
Looks pretty good for a dried up old head, doesn't it? We keep it wrapped in this magical necklace that makes it invisible to ghosts. Oh, look. I think he likes you. Someone had fun with this art.
Probably Steve Purcell.
Most likely. And we'll mix up a batch of our special enzymatic ghost dissolving solution.
And you can pour it on LeChuck like salt on a slug.
Good luck.
I do like my job sometimes, my day job. I'm a one-on-one for the only trans student at a transitional school for autistic adults, ages 18 to 21. And I was explaining what my pins were from the special edition thing that Limited Run done. And she says to me, I know Monkey Island, dude. Love her. It's fun that I get to help her because I'm good at that. And she points at LeChuck and says, isn't he allergic to root beer? And I go, in his ghost form. That's his demon form on the... So his demon form doesn't have a weakness, I don't think.
I guess the demon they only get rid of by just burying him under snow.
So he doesn't die. Nothing hurts him. He just gets immobilized.
Yeah.
Though, okay, he's allergic to running out of coleslaw.
Yes, there's the coleslaw running gag, which is
I don't get.
Yeah.
It's a 90. It's one of those 90s. It's one of those. They grew up in a monoculture, Dave. So things are funny to them that don't make any sense to us, like acknowledging that coleslaw exists.
It's the same energy as the pizza delivery running gag in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
We did a real-time fan dub of the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Miles did a lot of the additional voices, and one of my favorite moments is during one of those scenes when Koopa's up on the Zoom window or Skype window. The person who was voicing Koopa goes, I'm pretty lonely right now. And Miles goes, oh, okay, boss. I mean, I could come over if you need. And then Koopa goes, ew. I think it wants me to go to the right. We also made the joke that Toad, who has had his brain wiped and is not smart anymore, keeps every time he holds food, he's like, pizza! Even when it's clearly not pizza, which is a joke. I'm not gonna speak to its quality. I will just say that objectively, the category that falls into is joke. And the one from the original movie, I can't tell.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Misidentifying pizza definitely qualifies as a joke.
Misidentify. If you've ever played Break the Internet or whatever, the Jackbox game.
Yes.
The end round where you have to caption a photo. I have never seen someone get an animal's name wrong. Like see a picture of a duck and be like, this is a weird dog, and lose the round. So that's your little strategy for that game.
There we go.
You can strategize games that are creative based. My friend says my friend who's an artist says in the drawing games in Jackbox, if you draw a recognized character with a very pronounced butt, you never lose the round. So like an Among Us crewmate or Mario or a Gravity Falls character with just like a very
Sure.
visible.
Just rounding up that bottom.
I am excited to say, I'm glad to say, as of today, that the first time I was playing through these games, the Dyscalculia made this is just dance instructions and the head of the navigator puzzles really hard. And I've played this enough times that I am good at them. So hypothetically, I know I could become good at distinguishing 4 and 5 with some practice. I'm not interested in it.
Yeah, that one's not one of the more.
It has nothing. It has very little to being able to tell the difference between 4 and 5. And specifically, this is a situation where I'm talking about 1,400 hours versus 1,500 hours. I didn't realize those were 2 different times. And that made me late for work. It's never been useful in Monkey Island. It has only been useful to capitalism. So I'm not going to practice it.
Of course.
LeChuck does a goofy impression. That's you just described Dingy Dog.
You're not wrong.
Here we go.
Okay, we're here. Now what do you want from me?
Hello, Head. Hello, Head.
Hello.
I'm Guybrush. Mighty Pirate. Hello.
Is there something I can do for you?
Hey, Head.
Is there something I can do for you?
Or should I say, ahoy. May I please have that necklace?
No, but thanks for asking so politely.
Oh, come on, please.
You can beg all you want, but you can't have it.
That is what someone who has never met Guybrush Threepwood Mighty Pirate. They underestimate how pathetic he can be. Pretty please.
You can beg all you want, but you can't have it.
I feel the phrase when people are like, "I'm not going to give it to you, no matter how much you beg." When they say that to Guybrush, they're like, it reminds me of nothing can be perfectly foolproof because you underestimate the power of a perfect fool. Pretty please. He's caving. Keep doing it. We almost got this. Pretty please with sugar on top.
Oh, all right, you big baby.
That's it's a superpower. Listen.
You can have it. Hey, what good's a necklace if you don't have shoulders?
Oh, he smiled.
I know, he's so cute. It's a superpower. Listen. You'd have to wake up pretty early in the morning to be more pathetic than Guybrush Threepwood. This feels weird. Yeah, Guybrush Threepwood claims his greatest strength is his 10 minutes of breath holding, but if he could whine for 10 minutes, then that would be a personal worst.
Oh, they're not. We're not getting the music in this edition.
Oh, okay. I just threw out my kazoo because I accidentally stepped on it. It was a tin one, so okay. Here we go. Kazoo, perfect. Foil, cup, kazoo. That tickles so much. The kazoo puts the wax paper where it won't vibrate against my lips. It's very.
It looks like a real fun party these pirates are having.
I know, but not a civilized one.
No,
I don't think their party pays much attention to cholesterol. They look like chickens. If they look like chickens, all I got was a feather. Talk to chicken. Talk to chicken. Talk to chicken. Talk to chicken. Dave. Talk to chicken.
Talk to chicken.
Okay, talk to the dog. Oh, come on. Really?
You could talk to a dog at the beginning of the game. Why can't you talk to animals now?
They're playing the Fairly Odd Parents theme. They can't get sued if it's on mute. They're owned by Disney. They could just play Friend Like Me, which is the same song. It's about all the things you can wish for, and goes da 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 da. See, almost the same. I played the genie in the third grade. In our no, not the third grade. In the seventh grade, but I was 13, which is why 3 was on the brain. Again, not important. We did Aladdin. That was when I realized that I wasn't just acting because I was bored and had to be at every rehearsal of every performance of every show the local theater did. No one would ever solve this one on their own. Like, do you know anyone who was like, "Oh, I do have a magnet on me. It's the compass."
Fear for thy life, ye who enters. You'd better fear.
Well, Alibaba had these 40 thieves, and Scheherazade had 1,000 tales.
The wind makes not such screams. Strange places, strange noises.
Dave, I
Yeah.
can tell you a compliment, and then I can immediately take it back. Because 1, great LeChuck voice. 2, don't audition for Return.
I'm not planning on it.
I am. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna find a way to get. I want to be in Our Flag Means Death so bad. I would fit in like a glove. You know it.
Absolutely.
Do you know how many people, when they started watching Our Flag Means Death, the first thing they thought to do was message me and tell me? That was Kyle Carosa and his wife's experience, and Lindsay. When Kyle and Lindsay first sat down to watch it, I was the first person they told. That's the biggest ghost rat I've ever seen. Not second biggest. Have you played Spy Fox?
It's been a long time, but
rats. I like Spy Fox. I like it does some interesting things with the genre of point and click.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't expect a children's game to play up. Pajama Sam, however, is a masterpiece and belongs in the Library of Congress.
I remember I remember Spy Fox having some gags that I really enjoyed.
Same. I remember Pajama Sam exclusively having gags that I really enjoyed. I remember Dave Grossman just gets to talk about communism in a children's game, provided that the audience avatar goes, "What? Hey, that's my mask. This mask belongs to the people." What? Property is theft, man. I really need it back so I could fight darkness. Hey, I bet the governor's in there. She is not. So,
Yeah. Spoilers.
oh.
Ghost tools. Are they anything like cow tools?
I was about to make the exact same freaking joke earlier when you were imitating special edition Red Skull, and I was imitating Curse of Monkey Island Lemonhead, which are the same voice. I was like, you and I would be like Macintosh or Rod and Todd, where 2 different voice actors are doing the same voice.
That would be fun.
Or the Flying Fettuccine Brothers, which we already did.
Yes.
I can't pick that up. I'll just grab this old root and be on my way. I believe the reason Rob Paulson and Jess Harnell were the Flying Fettuccine Brothers was an Animaniacs reference, which has put an Animaniacs reference in a game that predates Animaniacs.
Yep. But still does the same jokes as Animaniacs.
Yeah.
As established.
Although, I also, while I have made fun of Dave Grossman's writing, Pajama Sam's the only game he wrote by himself, and so funny consistently. I did it. I got the root.
Wow. Look, he's not kidding. Here it is.
He's not such a wimp after all.
Come on, let's go make the brew of the fermented root. Wait here, we'll be right back.
God, I want some root beer.
I could go for
And
some root
rum.
beer.
Have you had root beer and rum?
I have not. I'm not much of an alcohol person, but
Okay.
but
Me neither. Anymore. I used to be an alcohol person. I used to be recognized. I'm not such a wimp after all.
I just love him bragging to the monkey. There it is.
One squirt of that stuff and the ectoplasm really hits the fan.
And if you have any left over, it's delicious with a little vanilla ice cream. Good luck.
Thanks. Every time I have auditioned for a gay character, I've gotten the question, but can't you do like the like that one voice? I'm like, yeah.
After some more furious,
You got it. It's all good.
more
Eep!
furious battling.
You scared me half to death. You're killing Bob? Have a taste of root beer, you evil spirit. Wait! If it's ghosts you're after, I can tell you where the others are. My Rob Paulson impression and my stereotypical 1990 gay guy voice are the same voice. Tell me where the ghost ship is. I will tell you. If I tell you, will you promise not to hurt me? I won't not promise to avoid refraining from harming you. What? Would you please stop doing that with your head? Sure. Is that a skeleton dance reference?
Probably.
It's always like that down here. What happened to the ship? If I tell you, will you promise not to hurt me? No promise. Okay, I promise. Okay. They all left for the wedding. Why are you still here? My head fell into the lava there, and I had to chase after it. And when I came back, they had gone. Shame too. I hate to miss the wedding. What wedding? LeChuck is marrying the governor of Melee Island. What? But how will they... Where is the wedding? There's a lovely church on Melee Island. They're headed there. Melee Island? Trademark Disney? Oh no! I give up. I'm tired of chasing them everywhere. What? You can't give up now! What kind of hero are you, anyway? You're right. I've got to stop that wedding! Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you should know.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
We've been looking all over.
I already do not remember what voices I was
Oi,
doing for
Bob.
anyone.
Hi, guys.
Say, Bob, you're looking a little pale.
Well, naturally, I'm pale. I am dead, after all.
Dead? How did that happen?
Oh, the usual way. Out for a day's... It was turning into... Oh, the usual way. Turning into Paul Lind a little.
Paul
And then
Lind.
I'm sure Rob Paulson has done a Paul Lind impression at least once.
Oh, he must have. I cannot fathom a world where he hasn't.
Monoculture, like I said. And that's also why she's named Elaine, because he's going to storm into a wedding, and to them it's funny to storm into a wedding and shout Elaine. To us, I acknowledge the reference. I understand the reference. I don't see the humor in it.
I see no reason not to make the reference. Like if the alternative is just not doing anything, like in an adventure game, you can have as many different types of jokes as you want because most of them are
That's
optional.
just stupid from Fairly Odd Parents. Oh no, my Rob Paulson impression has turned into a Tom Kenny impression.
Well,
but
I mean, Tom Kenny is basically doing Rob Paulson when he does Wheeler and Transformers. So
really,
I don't know if it's on purpose, but like the first 5 times I heard it, I was like, "Oh, Rob Paulson."
I found out
it's actually Tom
people
Kenny.
have been talking about, because of our Flag Means Death, that Korg from Marvel is So when they did the table reads for Thor Ragnarok, Taika would just read every character they hadn't casted yet.
Mm.
And Kevin Feige was like, we really liked your Korg voice during the table read. Do you want to do it for the movie? And he said, sure. But the specific voice he went for when he was voicing like 50 characters was Korg. I think it would be funny if I did an impression of Rhys Darby. So that's
That makes
actually,
sense.
yeah, Black Ed doing Steed. And I saw someone in the Our Flag Means Death fandom say, next there needs to be a Marvel character that's voiced by Rhys Darby doing a Taika Waititi impression.
Hopefully we get that in Love and Thunder.
I also love that David Jenkins promoted his co-collaborators' work by like, not only did he direct some of episodes of my show, but he's got this indie movie coming out. Well, I meant that. You don't seem to have a head, and
What?
hey, never mind. You guys know this shambling see-through shade? Well, he'll be see-through in the special edition. The one with the slippery grip on his head.
You've got to get over this obsession with heads, Threepwood.
This was before the invention of opacity, and we've got to get.
No kidding. Yeah, we're out of sunscreen. Come on, let's go.
Let's go get sunscreen. Do we still have any sunscreen? Why does he look like a different person between Shadows and Our Flag Means Death? Acting. Well, that was certainly easier than a trip to Monkey Island, trademark. I wish those guys hadn't been so excited about getting sunscreen. Now I'll have to stop the wedding by myself. Where are they buying sunscreen?
Now, if we did destroy the ship, Bob was going to take us back on his ship, right? Or no, Herman had a ship, right?
Herman had his ship. He just needed to be a hermit to fill the trope. No, wait,
Right.
Hermit couldn't have had his ship because we were on Hermit's ship.
I can't remember. Somebody else gives us a ride back if I destroyed my ship.
I think it was Herman. That's weird. I think he had access to another ship that he just didn't tell
Yeah.
us about. Can I interest you in some root beer, sir?
Root beer? Oh boy, I love root beer.
So he's not tried it since dying. He's only had it in life. So I have a fun little thing here. You can kill this guy, or you can go to the door to your left and walk around him and just not bother him at all.
Sure. That makes sense.
Why, yes, I do.
May I see it, please?
No. Hey, wait, that's an object. No. Bye now.
Not so fast, buddy. You don't look very ghost-like to me. You're very pink.
Oh, it's just the Northern Lights.
No bother. it's
I
just the
suffer from a
Northern Lights.
rare pigmentation efficiency syndrome.
You don't sound much like a ghost either. Could you wail and moan and rattle some chains or something?
Oh,
Say, you sound a lot like my dog. But where's the dank, musty, beyond the grave
you don't
ghostly
smell like a ghost.
And you're certainly not on fire like a ghost.
Or a demon. Oh, that. Oh, just let me get my boots off.
No, never mind. If you're really a ghost, prove it. Let's see you pop your head off.
Can we hand him the head of the... You mean the head on this root beer? This stuff's great. Watch out, LeChuck. There's a new sheriff in town, and his name... hey, I'd better get to the church. There's a lot of fun Easter eggs in Our Flag Means Death if you know pirate history. Like when he's talking about how he's going to be the gentleman pirate because every pirate has a brand, and he shows Captain Kidd in the book. That's actually a portrait of Stede Bonnet.
That's great. If there be any man with reason, these people should not be united in blissful matrimony. Let him
Marriage,
speak now, or
marriage is
forever
what
hold his
brings
peace.
us together. You have to. Oh, wait, can I tell you real quick my favorite reference to this scene in Boomer Media?
Please. Oh, I waited too long. Hey, who's that?
Sorry, we got a dialogue option.
You.
Okay, so have you watched SCTV much or?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've like watched through it, but yeah.
So they have a soap opera parody that I was obsessed with that I just discovered on YouTube and like binge watched, and like it legit became a fandom even though no one caught my references to it. It's called The Days of the Week, and instead of The Days of Our Lives, and
Right.
it opens with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. These are the days of the week. And they get in the wedding episode, they get Bill Murray to cameo, and every scene it's just Bill Murray by himself, just like going to a gas station, be like, which way's the wedding? And Mrs. Robinson is playing in the background, and then when he finally gets there, he goes, oh, thank goodness I made it here on time. I love weddings. So he wasn't in love with the bride.
Which one should I choose?
I don't care. I just remember. Wait. I do care. I don't remember it. There's a way to get in a really weird, dumb argument with him here. It might be the next tree. I've come to stop you from marrying Governor Marley.
How do you plan to do that?
For a second, I forgot I wasn't. Do you want me to be Marley or Governor?
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 What's going on?
I'll do it. Oh, Guybrush, you mad fool. I'm impressed that you came to rescue me, but it really wasn't necessary. I had everything well in hand. Unfortunately, your arrival made it necessary for me to tip my hand early.
How? Who? But? What?
And repeat.
Try the second one. I thought LeChuck was going to marry you.
Yes, so did I.
Yes, so did he. But I arranged for a little surprise when it came time to kiss the bride. How did you manage to escape? Oh, that was easy. LeChuck is a bozo.
Hey.
And lots of his crew members were friends of mine when they were alive. I don't... Oh, it's fine. If you're here, then who's in the dress? Will be both of them. There's two of them. What? Don't scare them. They have my ghost-sapping root beer bottle. Oh, I'll get it. Oops. Nice going, Guybrush. Now I've got to chase them down to get my voodoo root beer back. But hey!
You dared to come here and confront me? I can't believe you're...
Oh, here's where it is. Here's where it is.
Is it the I can't believe your stupidity?
First one, yeah.
Yeah, just all the rhymes.
No, I can't believe your stupidity.
Yeah? Well, I can't believe your frivolity.
Is these moments where they act like, where they do playground inside jokes more Tim or Dave, you think, from your exposure to their other work?
That is a good question.
Because I know this is for what's this from the second one was something Tim's older brother would do to him, I think. But I also know that Dave wrote Pajama Sam and does a lot of jokes like that in those. Well, I can't believe your Felicity.
Yeah? Well, I can't believe your mobility.
Well, I can't believe your alacrity.
Well, I can't believe your fragility.
Well, I can't believe your virility.
I grow tired of you.
Say now. Let's not be hasty.
Also, I can't believe your virility is definitely what he says to him in the slash fic.
I will never not find my immortal funny. To the extent that I quote it so often that I'm just like, why don't we just figure out who Tara is and give her the royalties from Harry Potter merch? She's the better writer, the more memorable writer, at least. I don't know about good. I don't care about good. It's never been an interest of mine. But when she accidentally writes
Good to see you, son. How's the ship?
virility instead of virginity, that makes
Yeah.
me laugh.
If you're interested in trading up, I can give you a fair price for it. Howdy, partner. You know, looking at you, I can tell you're a man of the world. I'm a man with an eye for quality. A man who knows a good bargain when he...
Remember, this joke was based on Ron actually having to buy a new car, so that was a threat of violence to a real person. But I do find it funny because it's a capitalist. They're not real people.
I said, pick up root beer, you dumb game.
If someone
well-
is trying to scam you for your money, are they like a person?
I'll let him knock me around some more.
Yeah, why not? You know? Ah! How's my Dominic Armato scream?
Love it.
I got a Dipper scream. I got a Bill scream.
I wish I could still talk to LeChuck and just try to reason with them.
Hey, you and I, Scum is pretty user friendly. We very well could just write jokes we wished were in the game into the game
Let's do it.
for no one, for nothing.
Just for ourselves, for our own personal headcanons.
We're like, we always felt it would be funny if this happened here. Let's do it.
I do love the throwing him around animation.
I love the. My favorite bit from the behind the scenes on Monkey 2 is when monitors upgraded to 256 colors. Steve Purcell, who is clearly like a mastermind, like he knows what he's doing with this amount of colors and pixels.
Mm-hmm.
You could pretty usually tell what everything is in his art. When they upgraded to 256 colors, he said to the fellow LucasArts employees, what the fuck am I supposed to do with 256? Like, he was so proficient in doing things with 16 colors that he felt overwhelmed when they added more. And they said that Steve can take an 8 pixel by 8 pixel block of 16 colors and make it look like anything.
Yep. Okay. We might as well beat the game.
We might as well. We might even have a little time to just watch the opening cutscene of the next one.
We might. He has a skeleton under his transparent self.
Yeah.
Instant
That's
replay.
the main one that feels like Pirates of the Caribbean took from, that the ghosts are also skeletons.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't feel, it's similar to On Stranger Tides and the beginning of the ride where you see
Mm-hmm.
the skeleton at the helm. Which I only know about from third person accounts, Dave. Never seen the skull, the headboard skull. You could take over her now. Don't sneak up on me like that.
Sorry.
That's okay. You know, LeChuck was a deviant, obnoxious, slithery, creepy, crawly sort of guy, but I'll say one thing for him.
What's that?
He sure looks nice exploding against the night sky.
Yes, it's very romantic.
I really like purple eyes for us. It's sad this will be the last time.
Can I buy you a root beer?
Should I get purple contacts for when I Disney bound him?
Yes, do it.
Actually, I'm a bit sick of root beer. While I was in the machine over at Stan's, oh gosh, I hope Stan's okay. And then this is where the Sega CD was like, well, you'll find out. No, the Sega CD just didn't play this part because they can't do cutscenes in the middle of other cutscenes. You know, I completely so Guybrush just says, I hope Stan's okay. I completely forgot about Herman Toothrot with no cutaways.
My pirate friend go, I certainly hope he didn't leave without me.
Actually, Lookback Cluck is the name of the chicken on his ship. I mean, yes, everyone always picks that option, but
Yeah,
you should save so we could see all of them.
that's true. We have the
We
ability.
have the technology. Did you say we have the ability?
Well, I can't believe your ability.
Well, I can't believe your technology. You know, I think that that it is funny that Tara Gillespie came up with the phrase, "That's where I lost my virility" to Draco. But also, now that I think about it more, I used to present as male. I used to work on making my voice deeper. I lost my virility to Guybrush Threepwood. How to deal with frustration, disappointment, and cynicism.
That sounds like something my husband would say.
What? Yikes.
And then
then
it's never explored if that's
Or will be in return.
maybe. But I suspect it's meant to just be a punchline.
It's not the size of the ship.
Yes, I've heard that one.
She doesn't let him finish the pickup line.
And of course,
It's not the size of the ship that matters, but whether it's got a rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle. You can't leave the port without it. Never pay more than $20 for a computer game.
a what?
I don't know. I'm not sure why I said that. Did you see the meme in response to Return, which was adjusted for inflation?
Yeah.
Featuring Spiffy. That joke is in every game.
Spiffy.
The dog is credited as playing itself. Orson Scott Card. Yay. Woo.
Certainly a fellow we have nothing but positive feelings about.
Yeah, he would love me if the two of us were to meet and I were dressed like this. He'd be so nice to me. Art and animation for Disc 22! I never noticed that before. That's great.
That's so good.
Wait. What did it say? Chocolate candy? Sorry. Can you go back and can we start the credits again? There was a joke
Sure.
there I
Let me
wanted to say.
let me It also might be Elaine making
Tara
a pickup
Gillespie
line.
is the pen name. So Tara Gillespie wasn't lying about anything. Whoever they were Tara Gillespie. We just don't know their real name. May. Okay.
Additional design.
Last minute
Additional-
assistance. Okay. There was one that I.
additional
next one.
five. Bulletproofing and
Bulletproofing radiation shielding. Chocolate supply supervision. Hold on. Yeah, let me just screenshot that one for the Driftwood Saga people because we talk about Monkey Island and chocolate a lot.
These all look like real credits here.
Steve Arnold was the one who said, "Put Chuck in a game. It's funny. It's a funny name, and that's why both LeChuck and Chuck the Plant." James Wood, singular.
Just one of them, not
Just one James Wood.
It's only when you get more than one James Wood that things get creepy.
Lisa Starr.
John Sinclair, who finally bought a 286, and that sounds like an inside joke.
That is accurate. They did appear courtesy of him. Cobb and Siegel. Soundtrack not available. Well, is it still not available at all anywhere? That's what. Now, this all feels like a mistake on their part. Dave Grossman's a published author at this point.
Yes. And now the credits just loop, I believe.
Okay. They're not as good as the LeChuck's Revenge credits. Oh, there we go. Turn your computer off and go to sleep. I don't. Okay, you're a little. When did you first start using the computer?
Like what age or what year?
Yeah, what year?
Probably like 1995, probably.
Was that a Windows 95 or was that an old computer?
No, I had an old computer for a very long time.
Okay.
I had just these old DOS computers, and we
So
didn't
then
get
you are the exact person I want to ask this question to. I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure first. Does this make any sense at all? Because I've never, you're not supposed to turn off a computer while software's still running. Like, why is it showing this full screen on the game?
Yeah, I think back then it was just accepted that you just turn off a computer
Okay.
by.
Oh, because there is no desktop. There was
Yeah.
there was no Windows before Windows, so it was not the game could not run in windowed mode because they hadn't invented that yet.
There was just DOS.
When I realized that it's called Windows because there are windows.
Even though it wasn't the first OS to incorporate Windows.
But what we all can acknowledge is that what was Apple's computer in 1982 called? It was the Apple II.
Yeah.
So when did they start using Mac? Not Macintosh. When did they start shortening it to Mac?
I don't recall offhand.
But not 1982, which is to say that in 1982, a director called John Carpenter made a film called The Thing. You've probably never heard me talk about it before.
Come up.
No, it's never come up, but there's a character the main character is named Mac, and there is a character named Windows, which is the first ever cultural instance of those two words existing together.
And of course, they were memorably played by Justin Long and John Hodgman in that film. No.
You broke me for a second. I was like, no, they were. And then I was like,
No.
Okay. All right.
Shall
I'm caught up now.
Shall we watch the opening cutscene of Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge?
Yeah, we got 22 minutes. We can watch a whole episode of the animated series in that time. In the reality where Disney cares about this franchise, if we somehow cross over to there.
A couple years ago, probably before they were even working on Return, I offhandedly tweeted, really fucked up that Disney Plus doesn't have a Monkey Island animated series yet.
Or honestly, Pirates of the Caribbean either. Like the reason Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is in limbo is because they don't know what to do about the Johnny Depp thing. The guy who voices him in Kingdom Hearts is amazing.
Is it James Arnold Taylor?
It was James Arnold Taylor in Kingdom Hearts 2. I did not like him as... he's one of my favorite voice actors. He's about to be Largo Legrand. Nope, this isn't the special edition. He's not. But it was him in Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't like him. It's Jared something. Jared.
Okay. There are plenty of voice actors who can do Jack Sparrow without...
Oh, wait, I can. I forgot.
That's right.
Jared Butler. And Jared Butler's Jack Sparrow is... I can't even say that it is... comparing it with Johnny Depp's is redundant. It's the same performance.
Nice. And now...
Oh! Do you have your physical with you?
I do, but I think it might also just bypass it if I just type random numbers. But if I'm wrong, we'll find out. Yeah.
Ella and I played Monkey Light last year, which I didn't know existed. It's not in the special edition.
I've never done Monkey Light, and
I would say it's not. We should do it sometime, but I don't want to do it today.
I've also never done Curse without doing Mega Monkey, so
So what I did was I wanted to play the games again, but I've acknowledged that I've played them too much, so I wanted to mix it up somehow.
Sure.
So I did the Sega CD version of Secret, Monkey 2 Lite, non-Mega Monkey Mode, Curse of Monkey Island, PlayStation 2 Escape, and then then version differences became less of a thing during the PC era of gaming.
I do appreciate how this really dares you to they're really shaming the people who want to do the light version here.
But then they're also shaming the people who want to play the hard version by making them brag that they want to work.
All the work.
I love working. I'm scared are the only two options they give you. Neither of actually, I was about to say I don't love working and I'm not scared, and then I was like, no, I'm scared. Oh, that's my secret cap. My secret cap is also the little hat I hide under my bandana.
Well, Guybrush Threepwood. You do turn up in the strangest places.
Hi, Elaine. do you think you could help me out? You love enthusiasm. That would explain why you've been following my content for like 7 years. It's kind of a long story.
That's okay. I've got time.
Well, it all started on Scab Island. Some of my admiring fans had pressured me into telling my LeChuck evaporating story once again. Interestingly, I was not hearing the music at any point when we were playing Secret, and I hear it now.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a glitch in Scum or if I did something wrong.
I have no complaints.
Yeah.
This was a pleasant surprise. Hey, you guys get out of here. My favorite situations is situations in which I assume I won't hear music by Michael Land, and then I hear music by Michael Land, such as in the queue for Pirates of the Caribbean, or in the Pirates Life Sea of Thieves DLC.
Michael Land, if I'm not mistaken, the only person now to work on every single Monkey Island game.
Did Dave not work on Escape? Or Curse?
I don't think he did, but I could be wrong.
Tim worked on Curse.
Tim worked early on Curse.
Yes. Tim did not.
Yeah.
Tim did, since he still worked in the office, did duties for Curse, just wasn't the director or writer.
Yeah.
Which is weird if Tim is still working there to not put him in charge. I guess it's because it was around the same time as Full Throttle.
Yeah.
It was around the same time as Grim Fandango. And it's probably better to let him do his own thing rather than just do the thing that Ron can't do because he's at Humongous.
Hey, look, there's Indiana Jones.
I've always felt my least favorite part of the Monkey Island franchise is the Star Wars references. They always feel really forced. However, the Indiana Jones references don't bother me the same way. Indiana Jones, well, he's not a professor because he goes away from his class for months on end and sleeps with his students. So that's not the behavior of a professor. He's not an archaeologist.
But also considering this is the game that culminates in the biggest Star Wars reference in the series.
And I don't like that part. I mean, there are parts of the ending I like. I mean, I like the end credits gags are the best the series has ever had.
Yes.
Go bowling with your mom? Are you kidding me? Which my mom still won't do. I'm like, no, we have to. So I bust into the church and say, now you're in for it, you bilious bag of barnacle bait. And we didn't even talk about Audacity for an hour at all. And he said, I can't take it anymore.
I think I know how he must have felt.
Yeah, if I hear the story one more time, I'm going to be crying myself.
Don't you have any news stories?
Well, actually, that's why I'm here on Scab Island. I'm on a whole new adventure.
Growing a mustache?
No, bigger than that.
A beard?
No, so he has a beard, and they're making fun of him that he doesn't have facial hair because his beard is patchy.
Yeah.
People try to emasculate Guybrush, and he just doesn't react, and I'm like, you can do that? Little baby me had their egg cracked. A treasure so valuable.
You mean
Big whoop.
big whoop?
None other.
Then why'd you come here? There's no treasure on Scab Island.
Well, I didn't know that before. Now I'm trying to charter a ship and look someplace else. When I return, I'll have riches galore and a whole new story.
Or you'll have time trying.
Either way, we won't have to hear about LeChuck anymore.
Same, Mary, because I did get into it long before you, 2013, but that is 3 years after the second special edition. Those guys wouldn't know a good story even if they paid $50 for it. When I find Big Whoop, I'll become a legend among pirates for generations to come. My portrait will be in Uncharted 4. There'll be a wanted poster of me in Deuce. What was it? Mighty Swashbuckler. All right. I know the exact voice that James Arnold Taylor does. I know how to describe it to you. It's just his Fred Flintstone voice. I think I'm prepared pretty well financially for now.
Yabba-dabba-doo.
It's a little gruffer, but it wasn't Tim. He voices him in the Pebbles commercials. And when I played this game for the first time, it was the special edition. And my mom walked into the room and was like, "You watching Flintstones?" I'm like, "What? No." And then I looked it up and I was like, "Oh, she is more perceptive than I."
Where do you think you're going, fancy pants? You ain't from these parts, are ya? This here's a toll bridge. You gotta pay.
Pretty good. What is the actor that Fred Flintstone is an impression of again? What's his name?
Jackie Gleason.
Pretty good Jackie Gleason, Dave.
Thank you.
Can you give me a bang zoom?
Bang, zoom, to the moon.
He wasn't talking about space travel.
I like this one.
Sure, take my money. I don't want any trouble.
Ah, there goes all my fun. Now I don't get to do this.
Ah! Help! Police!
Ha ha ha! Scream as loud as you want. There are no police on Scab Island.
Guybrush says, "Hey, cab."
Then who eats the donuts and roughs up the transients?
I roughs up what needs roughing up on this island. Hey, you're loaded. This is my lucky night. Remember, wherever you go, on sea or on land, you can't ever hide from Largo LeGrand.
Whew! Tough town. I guess I should have got those traveler's checks. Now here's a question.
Mhm.
If you somehow found the PAL version of this game, that'd probably be pretty easy. Would checks be spelled differently or no?
That's a good question.
Because America is the only country where check and check are spelled the same. Where, oh, I should check that out and let me write you a check. Welcome to Woodtick. No treasure hunting zone. That's pronounced how Frank Welker. That's spelled how Frank Welker pronounces it. Treasure.
Treasure.
All right, guys. There's some treasure. He must have been dressing up to hide the treasure.
Well, we have about 10 minutes, so we should probably get ready for your next appointment.
Yes, and that will be...
Why, that will be over on the Mystery Shack Lookback Patreon. Which
no,
is
on the Discord.
Well, on the Discord, but to get access to it, you join the Patreon.
Yeah, well, anyone can join the Patreon, and I will
Yes.
send that link just now. But yes, to get access, there is it's called Stan's Challenge Room, which is a really obscure Pines Quest reference. But we made it the Patreon right after we did Pines Quest, so it made more sense. How's your Jackie Coogan?
I do not have one locked and loaded.
When the daylight ends and the moon ascends. All right. So there's a link to the Discord. Yeah, if you are a friend of mine, you can join for free without pledging to the Patreon.
All right.
Oh,
Did the link not?
no, the Discord was saying they wanted it to be delayed half an hour. So what do you want to do?
Ah. Well,
Want to keep playing, or do you want to give them
I should
time
honestly
for it?
probably eat some food before the next thing.
That's a great idea. So you don't just keep high calorie things next to your desk so you can keep working. Looks down. Oh, so you do, but you wanted hot food.
Yeah. I'm well, and without getting into it, I don't want to eat on camera for people unless I'm specifically reviewing the thing I'm eating. But you know.
Oh, I don't have those standards. I'll just.
But yes, for anyone here who has not listened to the new Mystery Shack Lookback yet, I'm on it. So
Despite his claims, he is the best part of it.
aw, well, thank you. I got to write a very fun bit where I surprised Tony with a repeat after me.
I got to write a very, very fun bit where I surprised you with a Tolkien reference.
It's true. We all got to surprise each other with very fun bits we got to write,
And then Ella and Tony got to write nothing.
well,
Pour one out. I shouldn't do that this close to my technology.
they chose. They did not choose to write anything.
Well, Ella wrote rewrites on my opening monologue.
And Tony's got his own stuff to work on. So
I know he has not been on Twitter to retweet the episode because he is keeping off of it on purpose to finish editing.
But I'm sure he will retweet it shortly as soon as he's done with his new episode.
Kyle retweeted it. Kyle Carosa did the theme song for this episode, not our standard theme song. It's an episode specific theme song. And the fact that you retweeted it and Kyle retweeted it, and we have a pretty regular listener base who are subscribed to us. The numbers were pulling without Tony even sharing it yet. So Time Traveler's Pig was our most viewed episode because of Tony sharing it. So the fact that we're doing this well already and Tony ain't even shared it yet, I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be a big one.
Well, it's a good episode.
Thank you.
I was very happy to be part of it, and I'm I hope everyone gets a chance to listen to it as soon as they can. And we shall wrap things up here, but everybody head over to the Mystery Shack Lookback Discord, I guess in half an hour or so.
Yeah.
And
do you want me to DM you the Patreon link as well?
Yeah, let's do that. And until then, thank you all for joining us today. And
merry mates, merry part, merry mates again. I shall see thee anon.
And at some point, we shall play the game where he actually has this beard here.
Should I grow out to the right and left before we do that?
That is entirely your call.
I have the jacket in my car though, so I will be wearing it.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we will catch you next time.
Or in half an hour.
Or in half an hour, whichever comes first for any of you. All right. So long, friends.